Hello, everyone, and welcome to our reading of Austin Powers and the Spy Who Shagged Me. We have an awesome cast here. First, we have Angie, who will be reading our scene description. Next, we have Nicole, who will be my nemesis, Austin Powers. We have George playing Felicity, George Heather Graham playing Felicity, as well as my mini-me. And I guess that means I am Dr. Evil, as well as a few others like Elvis Costello. We have John playing my son who rejected me, Scott, as well as Basil. We have Logan, who's playing Fat Bastard, as well as President Tim Robbins and Jerry Springer and a few other awesome characters. And will be Frau. Vanessa, as well as Ivan the Humpalot. We also have Karina, who is my number 2, and also will be playing another Austin Powers. And everyone will be the audience, and everyone, unless the partygoers. So, Angie, take us away.
Mm-hmm. Austin Powers and the Spy Who Shagged Me, written by Mike Myers and Michael McCullers, transcribed by Eric with a K.
Yay.
Fade in, exterior, outer space.
Evil is his one and only name. Bum bum ba da dum bum bum. Evil, in his mind there is no other game.
Opening titles scroll up the screen, a la Star Wars.
Austin Powers, international man of mystery, was frozen in 1967 and defrosted in the 90s to battle his nemesis, Dr. Evil. After foiling his archenemy's plan to send a nuclear warhead to the center of the Earth, Austin banished Dr. Evil to the cold recesses of space and settled down with his new wife, Vanessa, to live happily ever after. Or so he thought.
Space shuttle floating over the Earth. An astronaut is on top of the aircraft.
Houston, this is Condor. We're doing an EVA of the payload. We're about to present the mobile with...
The astronaut turns and the reflection of Bob's Big Boy appears on the astronaut's helmet.
What the? Oh my gentle Jesus.
Exterior spacecraft continuous. A giant statue of Bob's Big Boy floats over the spacecraft and an astronaut turns slowly towards it.
Houston, we have a problem.
Exterior Bob's Big Boy ass continuous. Yes, that long line was typed correctly. Bob's Big Boy's ass opens. An egg-shaped cryo chamber flies out of Big Boy's ass. The legendary sinister laugh of Dr. Evil is heard in the background. Cryo chamber falls to the earth. Exterior hotel day. Beautiful French Riviera hotel. Super. Meanwhile, cut to interior hotel hallway continuous. Elegant double doors with a brass plaque reading honeymoon suite. A do not disturb sign hangs on the door handle. Super. Where we last left Austin.
Yes. Yes. Oh God. Oh.
Interior hotel suite continuous. Our protagonist, Austin Powers, and his bride, Vanessa, finish doing the bad thing. Austin's glasses are crooked.
Oh, and I'm sick.
Austin adjusts his glasses.
Oh, give me just a Woo!
Vanessa picks up a pack of cigarettes.
Do you smoke after sex?
Oh, well, I don't know, baby. I've never looked.
Oh, Austin.
Vanessa starts to scratch Austin's overly hairy chest.
What shall we do now?
Well, I have an idea. Why don't we shag?
Again?
Sure, baby. We'll only have to chapter 11 in the Kama Sutra.
Austin pulls a book into frame. Austin Powers Kama Sutra. Austin's face, glasses, and teeth are pasted onto the cover. A bestseller sticker covers his junk.
Don't you want to try the wheelbarrow or the praying donkey or the Chinese shag screen?
I'm going to get us some more champagne, Jungle Boy.
Tape
I'm going to
rewinding
get us
sound as Vanessa's mouth moves.
I'm going to get us some more champagne, Jungle Boy.
Vanessa gets out of bed. Austin is confused.
Are you okay?
Vanessa pours herself a glass of champagne.
I've never felt better. Felt better, Austin.
Smash! Vanessa squeezes the champagne bottle into pieces and doesn't notice. Austin remains confused, but...
All right then. I'm going to go watch a movie.
Austin gets out of bed and turns on the TV. In Like Flint plays on TV.
Hey! In My Flint, that's my favorite movie.
Austin picks up the remote and hits rewind. The movie on TV rewinds. However, behind Austin, Vanessa is rewinding as well. Austin turns around to see his wife rewinding like a videotape around the room and is caught off guard.
Vanessa, what's going on?
Austin pushes play on the remote. Vanessa stops rewinding and steps toward Austin.
I don't know what you mean, Austin. I'm the same Van.
Austin presses mute. Vanessa is muted, moving her mouth inaudibly. He presses mute again.
You must be.
Frustrated, Austin pushes sat.
Tu imaginación está jugando contigo, querida.
Austin is in shock.
Oh my God!
Vanessa grabs Austin by the neck and lifts him up. Choking, Austin pulls off Vanessa's face, revealing wires, transistors, and speaker where her mouth should be. What the hell?
Vanessa, you're a fembot.
No shit, Sherlock.
Rip. Machine guns pop out of Vanessa's breasts. Austin looks up.
Machine gun please. How did I miss those, baby?
Perhaps next time you should try foreplay.
Right. Oh my God!
Pow, pow, pow! Vanessa's machine guns fire all over the room as Austin runs for cover. Behind the bar, Austin grabs his Swedish penis enlarger. Pow, pow, pow! Vanessa sprays bullets all over the room, destroying the beautiful suite. The bullets stop, and Austin rises with a white flag. The fembot begins to speak, but with Dr. Evil's voice.
Here's your wedding present, Mr. Powers.
Vanessa lifts her pinky up for Dr. Evil's favorite gesture.
A kamikaze bride from me, Dr. Evil.
Vanessa's blank eyes turn into numbers. 3, 2, 1. The robot's eyebrows rise. Austin covers his ears. Boom! Vanessa explodes. Fembot pieces are everywhere. The suite is destroyed. Austin's robe is ripped with black marks all over his face, and his glasses are crooked again. He reaches between his legs.
Oh, thank God.
Austin finds Vanessa's hand with wires sticking out. On one of the fingers is a wedding ring. Austin is saddened as he picks up the hand and looks at the camera. Sad piano music plays.
I can't believe Vanessa, my bride, my one true love, the woman who taught me the beauty of monogamy, was a fembot all along.
Beat. The music stops.
Wait a tick! That means I'm single again! Oh, behave! Yeah!
Austin claps with the robot hand, then throws it away as Soul Bossa Nova by Quincy Jones begins. Interior lobby continuous. Austin Powers walks down the steps barefoot, or so we thought.
Yeah, baby, yeah!
Austin is naked. A waiter with drinks stops. Austin drinks from a cocktail on the waiter's tray. Austin turns sharply to a woman and spooks her. A maiden businesswoman cannot resist and look. Austin approaches the camera with the lead actor's name blocking his dick. He starts to dance, and the title, Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, helps keep this movie PG-13 somehow. Montage begins. Austin rides an elevator and exposes himself to the entire lobby. The actors' names remain in place of the film's title. Austin approaches a woman with a portable makeup mirror. As she snaps the mirror shut, another actor's name blocks his pecker. Guests notice naked Austin, especially a couple sitting next to a full luggage cart. As the bellhops move the luggage, Austin shakes his bare ass at them and turns around, shushing them like it's a pose. Naked Austin steps through the hotel hallway with a food cart blocking his ass. 2 giant prime ribs play substitute. Guests step out of his way. Some ladies giggle, as other guests are repulsed, including one guest who spits out his cocktail. Our nude person of mystery approaches a brunch. A nut about to be cracked blocks his one-eyed monster. After the nut cracks, strawberry ice cream with 2 ball-shaped scoops replaces the nut. Austin moves down the table as 2 people hold a long loaf of bread between Austin's legs. Immediately after it is pulled apart, a banana fruit basket replaces the early dessert. Someone pulls the banana away. Austin moves down and stands between 2 rabbits. One of them nods in approval. Austin continues his naked mile through the hotel by approaching a mother and her baby. The baby is in a stroller and holds a glimmering pinwheel. The pinwheel plays censor. Somehow the pinwheel moves exactly where Austin goes. The baby lifts his head and the woman turns. Austin waves and runs away. Austin is outside. He's on a diving board and cannonballs into the pool. As he's underwater, he's in a pink bathing suit and a flower-shaped pool cap. Other pool dancers in the same outfit appear behind him.
Yeah, but
The pool dancers are led by Austin as they dance in the pool to finish the opening sequence. In the middle of a fountain, Austin is lifted out of the pool, completely dry, wearing his classic blue suit and his international man of mystery necklace safely around his neck. The entire hotel that saw him naked celebrates the opening sequence. Exterior NATO Monitoring Facility Day. Super NATO Monitoring Facility, Guam. The camera zooms into a facility with a giant satellite dishes surrounding it. Interior monitoring room, continuous. 6 monitors are on the wall with different surveillance footage on each one. The ones visible read Kirplechistan, Beirut, Ethiopia, current surveillance priority, CSP, and Libya. A general walks around the room as a sergeant sits at a table in front of the monitors.
Keep a close eye on that Kirplechistan situation.
Yes, sir.
The sergeant changes the CSP monitor to the Kirplechistan surveillance. As the general walks away, the sergeant looks around, then changes the CSP to the Jerry Springer Show. The sergeant nods and smiles. Yes, the Jerry Springer Show over international security. Wow.
Jerry.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We see Jerry Springer on the CSP with his microphone and note cards.
Now, if you've just joined us, today's topic is My Father is Evil and Wants to Take Over the World.
On Jerry's stage is a KKK guy in full robes, a skinhead, a biker-like dude dressed like Hitler, and another guy who looks like he made an appearance at the U.S. Capitol recently.
Okay, let's meet Scott Evil.
Scott Evil, the co-creator of Robot Chicken, steps into the Springer stage with blue highlights in his hair. Some audience members cheer, others boo. Scott sits on a chair on the stage, 1 seat away from the line of people that represents what's wrong with America.
Hi, Scott. Nice to have you with us.
Thanks, Jerry.
Tell us about your father.
Well, my dad is the head of a worldwide evil organization with aspirations of world domination.
Boo!
Wow. Pretty serious stuff. And where is he now?
He's like cryogenically frozen, orbiting the Earth or something.
Woo! Woohoo!
That's what you think, but we have a surprise for you, Scott. Okay, let's bring out Scott's father, Dr. Evil.
Boo!
Scott turns, and it is indeed his father, Dr. Evil. In his Blofeld-like suit, facial scar, bald head, and persona, Dr. Evil walks onto the stage as the entire audience boos him.
What? What?
Ooh.
Meanwhile, at the NATO monitoring room,
Patient here?
on Jerry Springer, Dr. Evil sits down in the vacant seat between the Hitler wannabe and Scott. At the NATO room,
What is it, Sergeant?
the general leans down and watches Dr. Evil on camera with the sergeant. General is not happy. On Jerry Springer,
Hello, Scott. Daddy's back.
How could you do this to me on national television?
Well, throw me a frickin' bone here, Scott.
Why'd you run out on me?
Because you weren't quite so even enough.
Oh,
Boo!
You're quasi-evil. You're semi-evil. You're the margarine of evil. You're the Diet Coke of evil. Just one calorie, not even enough.
What are you, some kind of a freak?
Hey,
Scott.
shut up, you!
Okay, come on.
KKK guy gets up.
I'll kick your boot, punk.
Oh, bring it on, you shaky.
All right now, come on. No one talks to my son like that. It's okay. You motherfucker!
Dr. Evil sprints across the stage and punches KKK guy off the stage. Springer's security guards run on stage and hold Dr. Evil back as he continues to yell out expletives that are bleeped out. The stage is now total chaos. Dr. Evil punches and kicks while the guard holds him. The KKK guy tries to make his way to Dr. Evil.
You were born in your mother.
At NATO, the general and sergeant cannot believe what they're watching. On Jerry Springer,
Jerry.
Dr. Evil appears calm.
I'm okay. All right. You were born in your mother.
Dr. Evil runs across the stage and starts hitting the KKK guy, who is being held back by Springer security. Meanwhile, across the stage, Scott is being held back by two guards.
Oh, wait. Oh, I'll kill you both!
Dr. Evil picks up a folding chair and swings it up at the KKK guy.
There you go.
Jerry watches the chaos ensue. Dr. Evil rips off the KKK guy's hood and runs away like a little kid berate.
I got your hood.
Jerry steps in. The fighting on stage simmers down.
Whoa. Let's settle down. Okay, it's all right. It's okay.
Jerry puts his hands on Dr. Evil's shoulders and whispers in his ear.
Come on, it's only a television show. Calm down.
Okay, all right. I'm easy.
Everything okay?
Okay.
Springer turns to his security.
Get this jerk out of here.
Dr. Evil heard that.
I'll give you a beep.
Dr. Evil attacks Jerry Springer, and the stage turns into chaos again. Now, Jerry Springer is being held back by one of his guards as he throws punches at Dr. Evil. At NATO, the general and sergeant are appalled and speechless. On Jerry Springer,
He's biting me.
Jerry Springer is biting Dr. Evil's leg as our film's antagonist is being pulled back by security.
He's biting me.
The chaos is all over the stage as the audience yells like a hockey crowd watching a brawl between all of the players. However, Dr. Evil steps out of the brawl with a globe in his hand as he rants to the camera.
The world is mine, you beep.
Dr. Evil throws the globe on the ground. Cut to exterior windy road somewhere in England. Day. Austin Powers drives his Jaguar through a curvy road that in no way looks like Southern California. Super. Meanwhile, back in England. Interior Jaguar continuous. Beep beep. Austin, still smiling from being single again, notice he's getting a call. It's from America Online.
You've got mail.
Austin pushes a button and his boss, Basil Exposition, appears on the screen.
Hello, Basil.
Hello, Austin. How was your honeymoon?
Well, it turns out that Vanessa was a sunbolt.
Yes, we knew all along, sadly.
Austin looks at the camera. What?
Anyway, I have a new assignment for you, Austin. You're scheduled for a photo shoot, and one of the models works for Dr. Evil.
Groovy, baby! Jaguar!
Shaguar, the name of his vehicle, is seen on the back of the car, with a license plate reading Swinger. Austin speeds away to his next assignment. Cut to exterior Austin's pad, London, day. Austin arrives at his pad. Interior Austin's pad, continuous. Austin steps into his overly white apartment. Crew members of the photo shoot appear to be waiting for him.
Show me the models, baby. Let the magic begin.
Austin takes his jacket and iconic glasses off. A crew member hands him a camera. He walks onto set where two models where the crew members are putting finishing adjustments on the model's wardrobe. One of the models is Mystique herself, Rebecca Ramon.
Who have we got today? Okay, great.
Austin Powers, I've heard a lot about you. I'm Rebecca Romaine. I don't believe we had the pleasure.
Well, of course you haven't had the pleasure, Rebecca. We just met, baby. Yeah!
Rebecca awkwardly laughs. This guy for real? Austin turns to look at the other model, who has an unforgettable name. And I mean Sally Solomon from Third Rock from the Sun, Kristen Johnson.
And who are you, baby?
But in this movie, her name is...
Ivana Humpalot.
Did Austin hear that correctly?
Excuse me.
Ivana Humpalot.
And I want a money toilet, and I want a toilet made out of solid gold, but it's not in the cards now, is it?
Ivana is not amused.
You know.
Pause.
Okay, everyone, let's just get started.
The models pose and Austin takes pictures.
Yes, beautiful, feeling it. All right, let's get some smiles. It's all in there.
Rebecca Romaine looks amazing, and Ivana Humpalot sticks her tongue out.
That's it. Yes, let's let the insides out.
Austin keeps taking pictures.
Okay, you're an animal.
Rebecca shows her teeth.
Yes, there we go. You're a tiger.
Ivana claws her hand toward the camera with a horrifying look of intensity.
You're Tony the Tiger. You're great.
Rebecca and Ivana are close together and both growling and clawing at Austin's camera.
Very good. Loving it. Now you're Lima.
Austin joins them on stage and pose like lemurs, hands up like velociraptors and jogging in place.
Running as the pack. Yes, yes. We go left. Now we go right. Yes, yes, yes.
Austin continues to click the camera with his hand over his head.
There's a predator out of the jungle.
Rebecca and Ivana hold their hands up to their head like they're rabbit ears. They appear terrified of the predator.
What's going on? Oh, 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 oh.
Austin clicks away.
Now, burrow.
Rebecca and Ivana drop to the ground and pretend to burrow.
That's right, you're a lemur. That's all you've got. You don't have sharp teeth capable of biting. Make an interconnected series of tunnels. And look.
Austin points the camera away from the models but keeps taking pictures.
I'm not even shooting you. It's crazy. And I'm spent.
Austin hands his camera to a crew member.
All right, that's a wrap, everyone.
He puts his glasses back on and turns to Ivana. She's smoking a cigarette.
Miss Humpalot,
Da, darling.
shall we?
Give me a moment.
Oh, yes.
Austin leaves the room. Cut to exterior Seattle skyline day. A thunderstorm strikes Seattle as the Space Needle has a giant Starbucks sign on it. Super Dr. Evil's headquarters, Seattle. Lightning strikes the top of the Space Needle. The thunder and lightning create a nice transition to our film's antagonist. Interior top of the Space Needle, continuous. Dr. Evil holds his pinky finger up to his face as he sits in his evil chair.
Dr. Evil.
Number 2 stands by the Starbucks counter with 2 employees working on beverages. Number 2 has 2 burns on his face from somehow surviving what should have been his death in the previous movie. How is he alive? Anyway, he holds up a Starbucks cup in his hand.
Several years ago, we invested in a small Seattle-based coffee company.
Small company, you say? Dr. Evil's headquarters come into view. The evil round table with chairs are occupied by Frau Farbissina, his son Scott, and a new face that will be introduced in just a minute. On the table are a series of red buttons with all of Dr. Evil's minions' names next to each one, including Scott. Father of the year, you are, Dr. Evil. The evil Lair is in the middle of the Starbucks, high tables and all.
Today, Starbucks offers premium quality coffee at affordable prices. Delish.
Number 2 hands the Starbucks cup to Dr. Evil. No lid, Dr. Evil takes a sip by sticking his nose into the whipped cream, resulting in a lifeguard look. Scott smirks. What an idiot.
Dr. Evil, if we shift our, I can't see with this, good. If we shift our resources away from evil empires and towards Starbucks, we can increase fivefold.
Number 2 notices the lifeguard look.
Number 2, I make the decisions here, okay? I demand a little respect.
Dr. Evil, you have a little...
Silence! I will not tolerate your insolence.
Number 2 looks down, defeated. I tried. Dr. Evil turns to Frau.
Frau Barbissina, the gate is Ihnen.
Sehr gut, Herr Doctor.
How are things?
I've come to embrace the love that dare not speak its name. To my right is my lover.
To Frau's right is the unnamed character, dressed like a golfer, golf glove in one of their hands. One noticeable feature happens to be the character's name.
We met on the LGPA tour. Her name is Unibrow.
Yes, Unibrow, as in unibrow. Close up on Unibrow gives Dr. Evil the stink eye.
Right on. Welcome, Unibrow.
Frau unvelcros Unibrow's golf glove. Number 2 looks around confused. Frau turns to Dr. Evil and doesn't hold back.
Dr. Evil,
What?
a little milk nose mustache.
Dr. Evil flips his tiny mirror and looks. He looks back up.
I knew. I meant to.
Dr. Evil cleans his face.
It's how we drink in Belgium. It's called the Belgian dip.
While Dr. Evil scrutinizes his face, number 2 speaks up.
Dr. Evil, while you were frozen, we began a program to clone you.
Cool.
That is a clone!
Number 2 faces the door where a shadow of Dr. Evil is noticeable.
He is exactly like you in every way.
The door slides open and no one is there until the camera tilts down to Dr. Evil's clone.
Step 1/8 your size.
Dr. Evil looks down and jumps. The clone steps forward. Same gray Blofeld suit, facial scar, and bald head.
Breathtaking. I shall call him Mini-Me.
Mini-Me does the pinky gesture while thunder and lightning play a role in the background. Mini-Me walks to the table. Scott is appalled by Mini-Me.
Your stock is rising, number 2.
Number 2 bows. Mini-Me's chair rises, and it's a miniature version of Dr. Evil's chair. Scott struggles to keep it together. How dare you replace me with Mini-Me?
Come, Mr. Bigglesworth.
Dr. Evil's bald cat steps into his lap. Mini-Me has a smaller, bald Mr. Bigglesworth jump into his lap. Dr. Evil turns toward him.
Mini-Me, you hungry? Something to eat? Not even a hot pocket? And I go,
Mini-Me grabs his cat's ear to bite it, but
no, we don't, not on our kitty. No, leave Mini, leave Mini, Mr. Bigglesworth alone. Just love him. Just stroke him.
As Dr. Evil begins to address his plan, he and Mini-Me put their Mr. Bigglesworths down.
As you know, every diabolical scheme that I have hatched has been thwarted by Austin Powers. And why is that, ladies and gentlemen?
Because you never kill him when you get the chance and you're a big dope.
Mini-Me jumps onto the table and is about to push the red button with Scott's name on it.
No.
Mini-Me backs off from the button. Scott looks at him. What the hell? Mini-Me flips him off.
Down, Mini-Me. No.
Mini-Me sits back down and Dr. Evil continues, even though Scott is right.
Austin Powers always defeats me because he has mojo.
Mojo.
Mojo. The libido, the life force, the essence, the right stuff. What the French call a certain... I don't know what.
Number 2 stares at Dr. Evil. Is this guy serious right now?
Ladies and gentlemen, I've developed a device for traveling through time, which I call
Dr. Evil and Mini-Me do air quotes.
time machine. Using this time machine, I'm gonna go back to the 60s and steal Austin Powers' mojo.
If you have a time machine, why not just go back and kill Austin Powers when he's sitting on the crapper or something?
How about no, Scott? Okay?
Scott frowns to his father. Really?
Why not use your knowledge in the future to play the stock market? We could make trillions.
Why make trillions when we could make billions?
Trillion is more than a billion, numbnuts.
All right, zip it.
You can't even...
Zip it.
Look, all I'm...
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, exhibit A.
Number 2, would you please just back me up?
Oh, come zippy long stocking.
Oh, I can't.
When the problem comes along, you must zip it. Zip it, good.
Frau, would you please?
Subtitle, zip it.
I'm just trying to...
Zip, would you like a suckle of my zipple?
I want you... Stop. Listen. Oh, you're like a child. Talking... If you... One time.
Zip it. Unveil the time portal.
A giant door opens next to the Starbucks counter and reveals a platform with a Twilight Zone swirl sign. The platform moves forward. Dr. Evil gets up.
As you know, Austin Powers was frozen in 1967.
A screen on the ceiling shows a photo of the frozen Austin Powers scrolling up.
Therefore, I will travel back to 1969, 2 years after he was frozen. He'll be helpless. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to travel through time. I bid you adieu.
Dr. Evil runs into the platform and bam, crashes into the time machine and rolls back onto the ground. Concerned, Mini-Me gets up to check. Dr. Evil springs up like a jack-in-the-box.
I'm okay. Not turned on, I suppose. Yeah, do you think you could,
Number 2 reaches into his pocket and pulls out a remote.
Yeah. Thanks. Come, Mini-Me.
The time machine is on and the Twilight Zone swirl sign is spinning, getting dizzy just describing that. Mini-Me and Dr. Evil step up to the platform.
Don't be scared, Mini-Me.
Dr. Evil and Mini-Me jump and freeze in the belly flop pose as they both do. They spin like a Harry Potter portkey and fly forward. Interior, Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair, continuous. Title card 1969. Dr. Evil and Mini-Me fly toward the 1969 time machine platform, and they both unfreeze as they reach the landing. A young number 2, a round of applause for Sam Seaborn and Chris Traeger, everyone, steps forward.
Ah.
Dr. Evil, welcome to 1969.
Thank you, number 2. You look so healthy and youthful.
Why, thank you.
Herr Doctor.
Dr. Evil turns.
And Frau, you look so...
Frau looks exactly the same.
Right.
You know, Dr. Evil, I received your memo from the future. The new layer is up and running.
Is it a hollowed out volcano like I asked for?
Of course.
Number 2 points a remote toward off screen. The rest of the lair is revealed, a silver-plated secret volcano lair. Dr. Evil is impressed as the chairs around his evil table rise into frame.
Good. It's all going perfectly to plan.
The camera backs away from Dr. Evil doing his pinky gesture while he and his minions maniacally laugh. We keep moving back out of a glass eye belonging to a statue of Dr. Evil's head on an actual volcano. The volcano is on a deserted island. Interior Austin's pad back in 1999. Meanwhile, in 1999, we find Austin and Miss Ivana Humpelot in his pad. Austin claps twice and a fire started in the fireplace. Romantic music starts playing.
When did you get the clapper?
November 1964, Dutch East Indies, short leave.
Do you know how we keep warm in Russia?
Oh, I can guess, baby.
We play chess.
I guess wrong.
Austin and Ivana walk to a table with a chessboard already set up. Maybe he guessed right?
It takes a keen intellect to play chess, Mr. Powers.
They sit down.
I assume you know how to play.
Of course, baby.
Austin picks up his knight and moves it. Ivana gasps. Brace yourselves for what happens next. Ivana grasps the queen and slowly strokes the chess piece. Seriously. Austin watches. Ivana takes a deep breath and stretches, showing her cleavage to Austin.
What to do? What to do?
Ivana responds to the groan by seductively pinching the very top of two bishops like they were nipples. Ivana picks up a chess piece and puts it in her mouth. Ew. Austin responds by licking one of the pawns. He gags a little. Ivana moves the chess pieces around her mouth like it was a strawberry during foreplay. Austin accidentally swallows the pawn. He is choking. He bangs his chest with his fist multiple times and spits the chess piece across the room into a vase. The vase falls with a crash. Ivana stops the foreplay.
Let me ask you a question, and be honest. Do I make you horny, baby? Do I? Do I make you randy, baby? Yeah.
Ivana gets up, seems embarrassed.
No more games. Dr. Evil sent me here to kill you. But I find you so...
Austin awaits what she's about to say, and he knows it.
sexy.
Yes, yes.
Ivana moves to Austin's bed that has a polar bear comforter. Wow, not cool. Ivana drops to his bed with a Mrs. Robinson-like pose.
Just make love to me. Now, Austin Pavlovich. Hurry.
Austin gets up and steps to the bed. Ivana moves to him. Austin rips open his shirt, revealing his iconic chest hair.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, you hairy like animal. Oh.
Go, baby, very good.
Make love to me, monkey man. Oh.
Ivana aggressively pulls Austin into bed. It's on. Interior, Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair back in 1969. Dr. Evil admires his new chair in his secret volcano lair. Number 2 walks toward the table and sits down.
Dr. Evil, I don't understand how we can possibly steal Austin Powers' mojo. We've tried this before. The security around Powers is foolproof.
Mini-Me joins the table too.
Ah, but this time we have an operative inside the Ministry of Defense.
Really?
Yes, really. He's stealing Austin Powers' mojo as we speak.
Really?
Really?
Cut to. Interior Austin Powers cryo chamber continuous. We stare at the feet of a man whose name says everything we need to know about him. The camera pans up to fat bastard dressed like the Scotsman he is and playing the bagpipes.
He's a disgruntled Scottish gardener known for his lethal temper and his unusual eating habits. He weighs a metric ton. His name, Fat Bastard.
Behind Fat Bastard is a frozen Austin Powers, still awaiting to be unfrozen to take on Dr. Evil in the first film. Several armed Ministry of Defense soldiers guard the frozen international man of mystery. The colonel addresses them.
We've had reports. There's a spy in the Ministry of Defense. The contents of this room are vital to the country.
The colonel turns to Fat Bastard.
Be on special alert.
Yes, sir!
And, try to lose some weight, for God's sake.
Yes, sir!
The colonel salutes back. As he walks away, he rolls his eyes. The colonel turns his back on Fat Bastard and leaves the room.
That English colonel telling me to lose weight. Oh, I'm a hard case, he says. Well, listen up, son of Jim. I ate a baby! Like meat. For dinner!
Fat Bastard pushes a small red button on his bagpipes. As he plays a few notes, the bagpipes releases smoke into the room. All of the soldiers surrounding him fall to the ground unconscious. Fat Bastard pulls a long drill bit out of the bagpipes and aims the bit toward the frozen Austin Powers. Fat Bastard activates the drill bit and pushes it into the ice. The drill bit is revealed to be a part of a syringe, and Fat Bastard pulls a pink, shiny liquid out of the ice.
Oh, I've got your mojo now, Sonny Jim.
Cut to Interior Austin's pad continuous. In 1999, Austin and Ivana are doing the bad thing under the covers. Austin sits up, appears shocked, and covered in red lipstick kisses. Ivana looks at him.
What's wrong?
Crikey! I've lost my mojo!
Dun dun. Ivana looks down, appearing shocked by what she sees. Cut to Interior Secret Project Room night. Inside a room that could easily fit 4 or 5 football fields, Basil drives passenger Austin in an electric cart.
Austin, the test results confirm that you've lost your mojo, and it couldn't have come at a worse time. We have evidence that Dr. Evil has developed a time machine and has traveled back to the year 1969. Luckily, we too have developed a time travel device to transport you back to the 60s.
Test results? Moving on. Basil and Austin arrive at the site where the scientists are walking around a rainbow-colored Volkswagen Bug. The scientists remove the tubes from the vehicle. Austin gets into the driver's seat. All of this for a mojo?
Now, this is where you input your destination.
Inside of the vehicle, Basil inputs the year 1969 into a keypad.
Wait a tick. Basil, if I travel back to 1969 and I was frozen in 1967, presumably I could go visit my frozen self. But if I could still be frozen in 1967, how could I have been on board in the 90s and travel back? Oh my God, I've gone cross-eyed.
I suggest you don't worry about this sort of thing and just enjoy yourself.
Basil turns to the audience.
And that goes for you all, too.
Yes. Well, this is smashing, Basil. I'd go back to the 60s, recharge my mojo, defeat Dr. Evil, and I'll be back in time for tea.
Austin prepares to drive.
Swinging 60s, here I come, baby, yeah! Move, move, move!
Scientists do as Austin says. Basil gives Austin a thumbs up. Austin moves the gear, but goes in reverse. The car hits a shelf holding multiple computer monitors.
No!
Sorry, but that's expensive.
Oh shit. Austin puts the car in drive, but turns the wrong way.
Whoa!
A scientist in front of the car, hands on the hood. As Austin stops the car, Austin looks back, but still has the car in drive and moves forward. The scientist gets out of the way, but more equipment is destroyed by Austin.
Sorry.
Easy, easy.
Austin reverses into the Tower of Barrels.
Stop it now, Austin.
Austin finally figures it out and drives forward.
Here we go. Here we go.
Now, Austin is ready to go to the 60s.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Austin floors the gas pedal. As the car moves the right direction, we see the license plate reads Swinger 2.
Godspeed, Austin Powers.
Austin's car is going so fast that he's lucky he doesn't fly out of the vehicle. As the car reaches a dead end, a bright light ignites and the car is gone. Cut to exterior Austin 60s pad, night. 1969, at the top floor of a building, the bright light illuminates every window. Interior Austin 60s pad, continuous. Party. Magic Carpet Ride by Steppenwolf plays in the background. All of the psychedelic-looking partygoers jump out of the way as Austin's rainbow bug drives into the room. As the car comes to a stop, the dance party continues. No one seems to care. A car drove into the room from nowhere. Well, it is the 60s. The two-story pad is packed with dancers, and a girl is dancing in a hanging birdcage. Austin looks around.
I'm home.
Austin cringes as he notices something is wrong with his teeth. He smiles into the rearview mirror, and his teeth are back to the way they were. Just awful. The mirror cracks at the sight of them. Austin feels embarrassed and closes his mouth. He steps out of the car and the partygoers notice him. The partygoers react as if they are at a Backstreet Boys concert.
Oh!
Oh! Austin Powers?
Yes. Yes.
The partygoers faint. The partygoer faints. All of them are so happy as Austin gets ready to dance. He looks at the audience.
I'm in the 60s, baby. Yeah.
All of the cage dancers up their game as Austin is back. Austin dances with everyone as all of the women touch him as he moves down the line. Magic Carpet Ride is blasting. The camera pans up to the second floor as 5 dancers move in unison, including one in the middle who will be introduced shortly. Austin leans against a table with the now conscious partygoer 1. She appears to have her hand on his ass.
Hey, hey, hey. Get your hand off my honey, baby.
With that hand, partygoer 1 pulls Daniel Craig's go-to beer Heineken into frame. The party is even better than before. As the song reaches the soft part, Austin dances like he's having a seizure as the song gets louder and louder. All of the partiers scream. Austin turns and sees a beautiful woman in a black and white 60s style dress. This is Robin Swallows. Meanwhile, the middle dancer mentioned earlier looks through her small binoculars toward Austin and Robin.
And who are you, baby?
My name is Robin Swallows.
Swallows. That's an interesting name.
Maiden name Spitz.
Well, which is it, baby? Spitz or swallows?
Austin thinks on that one. Was that funny? Oh well. He turns back to her with a serious expression. Meanwhile, American Woman by the Guess Who starts playing. The middle dancer, now known as Felicity Shagwell, the beautiful Heather George Graham, everyone, walks into the fireman's pole and slides down to the ground floor to the flat. The 4 other dancers stare at Austin and Robin as Felicity reaches the floor. Austin turns and is immediately mesmerized. He appears to be holding Robin. Then he drops her. Austin starts dancing as he can't take his eyes off Felicity. Austin licks his hands like a cat and slides the saliva hands on his head to keep his hair down. Felicity dances with a few guys. Felicity approaches our protagonist and dances with him. She shakes her behind towards him like a pro. Austin can't help but notice her short jeans.
Those are skin tight. How do you get into those pants, baby?
You can start by buying me a drink.
He may be in love. He looks like a hungry lion and ready to pounce, but Robin gets between them. Robin pushes Austin away. Felicity did not like that. Not one bit. She turns and looks up to the other 4 dancers. Since the party is so loud, Felicity speaks to them in sign language. The other dancers stop staring and slide down the fireman's pole. Robin holds Austin and dances with him. But Austin is on the verge of tears as he holds his arms out to Felicity.
I want.
Felicity leads the 4 dancers to Austin and Robin. Felicity pulls Austin away from her. Robin stops dancing, turns around. The 4 dancers block Robin from going near them. Felicity hugs Austin from behind. She speaks into his ear.
You better play it cool. Your friend works for Dr. Evil.
Felicity lets go of him and walks the other way.
And who do you work for, baby?
Austin turns around and Felicity is gone. What the fuck? He looks around. Robin approaches.
Tell me, Mr. Powers,
Austin faces Robin.
do you swing?
Are you kidding, baby? I put the car and swing it, baby.
Then why don't you come right
Robin grabs a hold of Austin and moves him.
over here?
I can do that.
Meanwhile, behind Austin is a man in a black beret reaches into his coat pocket. Robin turns her eyes toward this man. The man pulls a throwing knife out of his pocket. Austin looks into Robin's eyes. The man is visible in both. Robin raises her eyebrow. Austin notices. Surprised, Austin grabs Robin and turns her back toward the man. The man throws the knife. The knife hits Robin in the back. Everyone else screams. The beret man is in shock as Austin notices him. Austin throws Robin to the ground. She looks up at him.
Prepare to die, Powers.
Austin steps toward the man, fists out, ready to fight. But
Use a machine gun.
the beret man pulls a machine gun out of nowhere and aims it at Austin. Austin runs away, not sure where to find cover.
No! No!
He picks up Robin and uses her as a shield. Bang, bang, bang. Each bullet hits Robin in the back. The beret man keeps firing, but hits only Robin. Robin reacts as if she was hit by paintballs. Click, click, click. The beret man has run out of ammo.
Say goodbye, Powers.
With a back that looks like a used gun range target, Robin is thrown to the ground.
Use a bazooka.
Robin screams in pain, finally noticing the bullets and the knife wound in her back. However, the beret man pulls a bazooka into frame. Yes, a bazooka, and aims it towards Austin.
No!
Bang! The beret man fires the bazooka, and the small rocket is heading right toward Austin.
No!
Austin pulls Robin in front of him as a shield again, and they are both shot through the window. Exterior falling outside the building, continuous. Austin and Robin are falling. They both turn around to face the audience. Austin is unscratched and totally fine. However, Robin has a rocket in her abdomen, part of her hair blown off of her head, and burnt marks only suitable for a PG-13 movie.
The fall kills both, Powers.
Austin pulls Robin in front of him like a shield again, only making her scream a little louder. Splat! Glass falls beside them. Robin is on the bottom, somehow still alive. Austin, still unscratched, looks around. At the top of the building, the beret man looks down, rolls his eyes as he notices Austin is still alive. Robin turns to Austin.
You can't win, Powers.
The beret man reloads the machine gun. Austin looks down at Robin.
Why don't you die?
Seriously? Oh, yeah. Just enjoy yourself. You're right, Basil. Bang, bang. The beret man fires his machine gun toward Austin. Misses him like every stormtrooper in Bond villain crony. Nearby, a convertible painted like the American flag pulls over to Austin. Felicity is driving. Honk, honk.
Care for a ride?
Austin dodges every bullet, jumps over the hood, and goes head first into the passenger seat.
Oh, Go! Go! Go!
Bullets keep firing, and Beret Henchman joins the club of every Bond villain missing the chance to kill the hero. Interior Felicity's Shagadelic convertible, continuous. Austin is now right side up in the passenger seat, and Felicity drives like a pro with rear projection.
Austin Powers, I presume.
Powers by name, Powers by reputation.
Felicity Shagwell, CIA. Shagwell by name, shag very well by reputation.
Oh, behave!
Not if I can help it.
Yes.
Austin looks at Felicity with awe. I love this woman.
Oh.
English countryside, exterior day. Felicity and Austin pass by a sign that reads, Log Lines Location. The land looks familiar, but like England.
You know what's remarkable is how much England looks in no way like Southern California.
Very good, what he said. The American flag car drives down the so-called English road, and another car drives into the street. Interior other car continuous. The fez-wearing Mustafa is driving the car. He lifts his sunglasses. Exterior road continuous. Mustafa is close behind Austin and Felicity. Interior Mustafa's car continuous. Mustafa pulls out a pistol and fires through an open window. Interior Felicity's car continuous. Austin, Felicity duck for cover.
Clanky!
Felicity looks back.
We've got company. It looks like one of Dr. Evil's assassins.
Interior Mustafa's car continuous. Mustafa stops firing and pulls his arm back into the car. Interior Felicity's car continuous. Felicity turns back and aims her magnum pistol toward Mustafa's car. Bang! Exterior Mustafa's car continuous. Pop! Tire pops. Mustafa loses control of the car. Exterior road continuous. Austin and Felicity drive forward with control as Mustafa's car heads to a guardrail. Crash! Car breaks the guardrail and off the mountain. Crash, crash. He somehow misses an iconic red London telephone booth. Austin and Felicity approach the car crash site on foot. Mustafa climbs the mountain unharmed, we think. He approaches Austin and Felicity. Both agents aim their guns at Mustafa.
Steady now. Steady. Hands up.
Do you remember me, Austin Powers?
I don't recall your name, but your face is familiar.
Smiling, Austin slightly turns to Felicity to see if she's laughing, but she is totally serious, aiming her dirty, hairy gun at Mustafa. Austin turns back to Mustafa with a more serious face. Mustafa brushes himself off.
My name is Mustafa, and I'm the one who will be killing you now.
Mustafa pulls out a Nepalese key and charges Austin.
Dr.
Austin and Felicity let him run by. Mustafa turns around and swings his fancy machete at Austin. Austin pistol whips Mustafa's machete away and then hits him again. Felicity puts Mustafa in a headlock and aims her dirty, hairy gun at his head. Austin aims his James Bond gun at him.
Who sent you?
You'll have to kill me.
Who sent you?
Kiss my ass, Powers.
Who sent you?
Dr. Evil.
Austin and Felicity look at each other.
That was easy.
Yeah, that was easy.
Why did you tell us?
I can't stand to be asked the same question 3 times. It just irritates me.
Where's Dr. Evil hiding?
Why would he tell me? I'm just one of his low-level functionaries.
Where's Dr. Evil hiding?
You have to torture me. I'll never tell you.
Where's Dr. Evil hiding?
Damn! 3 times. He's hiding in his secret volcano lair.
Mustafa.
Where is Dr. Evil's secret volcano's lair?
I spit at the question.
Do I really have to ask you 2 more times?
Go to hell, Powers.
Fine. Where is Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair?
I will take it to the grave with me.
Aha, you have to answer. He asked you 3 times.
Oh, no.
Mustafa frees himself from Felicity's headlock and faces them both.
The second question was, do I really have to ask you 2 more times? So that would be the first question in a new line of questioning and would not count in another line of questioning.
No, he's right.
Nearby, Frau pushes a baby stroller to the side of the road. In the stroller, Mini-Me rises up in a baby outfit. He prepares to fire a blow dart.
However, I'm just trying to get information from you, man. I don't need any consistency in the questions, do I?
No, you're preaching to the converted.
Mini-Me fires a blow dart into Mustafa's neck.
Ah!
Mustafa starts backing up while Austin and Felicity follow him.
Well, if I'm preaching to the converted, then why are you being so slavish with the 3-question form as my question? You're not even looking at me, man. Now you're just being rude. You know what I mean?
Mustafa continues to back up toward a cliff.
You're not even listening to me, man.
Mustafa falls off the cliff.
Ah!
But Austin and Felicity cringe from the sound of Mustafa hitting the ground.
Oh, crikey.
Nearby, Frau pushes the stroller by Felicity's car. Mini-Me flips off the audience.
Well, Austin, I think this time may have finally met your match.
Oh no, baby. I've beaten Dr. Evil before and I'll beat him again.
I was talking about me.
Austin watches her walk away, and Felicity looks back.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, a familiar voice is heard.
Hello up there. I seem to have fallen down a cliff. I'm still alive, but I'm very badly injured. I think my legs might have been broken, but I'll try to stand up. Ah!
Crack! And another thud.
Yes, they are broken. Perhaps you could toss me a Band-Aid or some antibacterial cream. I'm in an extraordinarily large amount of pain. The bone has gone through the skin. I fear it might be gangrenous. The wound is beginning to smell a little like almonds, which is not good. Please? No one?
Sorry.
I'll try the other leg. Ah!
As Austin walks away, another crack and thud are heard. Cut to exterior Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair day. The audience stares up the giant Dr. Evil volcano from a jungle. Interior Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair continuous. Beep, beep, beep. Mini-Me is operating an electric bike and Dr. Evil stands in the back. He addresses the lair as Mini-Me drives toward Frau and number 2.
2 of my assassins are dead. I will not tolerate failure. I'm the man who will maintain the dignity of this evil organization.
Boom! The entire lair shakes.
What the hell was that?
Volcanic eruption.
Mini-Me struggles to move through the continued shaking. All of the hench people and Dr. Evil not standing straight. In a nearby hallway, Fat Bastard proudly stomps into the main room. He carries Austin's mojo.
May I present to you my spy in the Ministry of Defense, Fat Bastard.
First things first. Where's your shitter? I've got a turtle head poking out.
Charming.
I got a crap on deck that could choke a donkey. Oh, it's squingy. Christ, I'm getting all emotional from it, you know.
Frau and number 2 are repulsed by this man's comments.
Right. Fat Bastard, could I have my mojo, please?
There's my money.
In the hallway, Fat Bastard made his grand entrance. Mini-Me drags a big suitcase from said hallway.
All right, give him his money.
Fat Bastard turns around and Mini-Me drops the suitcase by his feet. The big man looks down at Mini-Me.
Jesus Christ, he's tiny. I've had bigger chunks of corn in my crap. Looks like a baby.
Fat Bastard squats down and challenges Mini-Me.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you. I'm bigger than you are.
Mini-Me turns to Dr. Evil. What the hell do I do here?
I'm higher in the food chain. Get in my belly.
Mini-Me sneaks up and grabs the mojo from Fat Bastard. Fat Bastard can barely move as Mini-Me runs to Dr. Evil.
Lucky we man!
Mini-Me gives Dr. Evil the mojo.
Can I have a hug?
Dr. Evil embraces Mini-Me.
You a deal, all right? You get the money, you keep your mojo. And I get your baby.
Right.
Oh, my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, ribs. Oh, my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, ribs.
Excuse me.
Jelly, baby back ribs.
Dr. Evil, what are we going to do about Powers?
Austin Powers is no longer a threat to me. I have his mojo.
His hench people do not join in. Dr. Evil opens the mojo and drinks it. Number 2 and Frau wonder what this means. As Dr. Evil is done, Marvin Gaye's Let's Get It On starts playing. Dr. Evil turns to the only woman on the island, Frau. Frau looks at him. What? The mojo has taken over. Dr. Evil grins and Frau returns the smile. Dr. Evil starts doing Austin Powers dance and Frau likes what she sees. Dr. Evil claps.
All right, everyone. You're dismissed. Private time.
Frau begins to take off her scarf, dancing to the music. Dr. Evil puts his evil pinky in his mouth. What the fuck? Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair, sundown. The eyes of the Dr. Evil volcano close. Interior Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair continuous. The evil table is replaced with a bed that rises into the room. Frau was on that bed in a nightgown. She drops her hair down. Dr. Evil walks into frame with his Blofeld shirt zipped down and a gun in his waistband. He continues to dance and strip.
Dr. Evil, I don't want this to interfere with our work.
Don't worry, Mama. Things won't get weird.
They're about to. Dr. Evil pulls a big bottle of malt liquor into frame and takes a drink.
One for me
He spills a little liquor onto the ground.
and one for my homies.
Herr Doctor.
Dr. Evil dances on the bed. Frau moves toward him and flips him onto his back.
Oh!
Don't get it done.
Insert a volcano erupting. Cut to interior Austin Powers cryo chamber day. Austin steps into the Ministry of Defense cryo chamber. The room is being treated as a crime scene with soldiers taking pictures and yellow caution tape over the frozen, Austin Powers. The guards that were knocked out earlier are speaking with other soldiers as 90s Austin steps into the room. The 2 doors close behind him.
Ooh, hello.
Felicity walks into frame.
So, what happened here?
Apparently, a rogue agent named Fat Bastard infiltrated the unit assigned to guard your cryogenic chamber. He used some sort of nerve gas. These men don't remember a thing.
Felicity turns around and approaches the captain.
Captain, why don't you cross-check Fat Bastard's profile with the mainframe at Langley?
Captain uncomfortably salutes her.
Yes, Mom.
Meanwhile, Austin notices a photographer taking pictures.
Can I borrow that, please? Thank you.
Austin takes the man's camera and takes pictures as if his frozen self is a model. The photographer's face says, "What the fuck, man?"
Yes, Austin. Yes, yes. Look at me. I'm a sexy bitch, baby. Yeah, you're a popsicle. Yes,
Nearby, Felicity smiles at him.
yes. No, no. And I'm bit.
Austin literally tosses the camera back to the photographer. Felicity still smiles at him.
Let's go, baby. Yeah.
Exterior London streets day. I'm a Believer by Smash Mouth plays. Austin and Felicity spend the day in London, and it's a montage. Austin and Felicity cross the crosswalk by jumping on each one like Buddy the Elf. What's your favorite color? They hold hands and walk down the street. Oh. Felicity tries on furry boots and a vest. She looks like she's on her way to Woodstock. Not a bad thing. But Austin shakes his head. No approval. Felicity looks at him like, what are you talking about, Willis? Austin tries on the exact same outfit. Felicity nods in approval. Felicity and Austin approach the Queen's Guard. Silent, red coat, armed, and of course, the large black fur hat. Austin shakes his hand in front of the guard's face. No reaction from the guard, but Felicity laughs. A photographer begins taking pictures of the petrified guard. Felicity dances in front of him. Austin acts like a monkey by picking at the bearskin hat and eating whatever he finds. Felicity kisses the man on the cheek, then Austin does the same thing. This prompts the guard to turn to him, resulting in an innocent smile from Austin, until Austin realizes that the man liked it. Then Austin, Felicity, and the guard pose, including seeing what the guard was wearing a bra underneath the red coat. Austin and Felicity take the man's furry hat, play keep away, and exit frame. The man chases them. End montage. Exterior London Cafe, day. Austin and Felicity cross the street and arrive at an outdoor cafe.
Yeah, babe. Woo! Yeah.
Austin sees a free table with 2 chairs.
Shall we sit down?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is great.
Groovy.
We get a better look at the cafe, a band led by a familiar guitar player singer, and another familiar man behind the piano. The London Underground is right behind them.
So, Austin, what's the future like?
Well, everyone has a fine car, entire mails have come in pill form, and the entire world is ruled by damn dirty apes!
Oh my god.
Had you for a second.
You can have me for even longer if you want.
You're what groovy, baby. Baby.
They share
Too
a
many
chuckle.
babies. No, don't you dare move.
Austin gets up and approaches the band. Our hero addresses the audience, introducing us to the familiar artists.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Burt Bacharach and Mr. Elvis Costello.
Burt returns from the first movie, and yes, it's Elvis Costello. Applause! He begins singing.
What do you get when you fall in love? A guy with a pin to burst your bubble.
Would you care to dance?
I would love to.
Felicity and Austin dance to the beautiful song.
That's what you get for all your trouble. I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again. Don't tell me what it's all about, 'cause I've been there, and I'm glad I'm out of these chains, the chains that bind you. That is why I'm here, to remind you, what do you get when you fall in love?
You only get lies and pain and sorrow, so for at least until tomorrow.
I'll never fall in love again. I'll never fall in love again.
You're quite good on your feet.
I'm even better off my feet.
The crowd watching them dance gives the 2 heroes a round of applause. Austin kisses Felicity's hand. Felicity kisses Austin's hand. Cut to interior Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair, day. Frau is getting coffee at the evil crafty table. Dr. Evil awkwardly approaches her.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi there. How are things?
Good. Doctor, and you?
Oh, great. Just taking a break. Try the Hot Pockets. They're breathtaking. It got weird, didn't it?
Yeah.
I knew it.
You haven't called.
Oh, look. We talked about this. We promised each other it wouldn't get weird. I can't let my feelings for you interfere with my taking over the world. You know that.
You know, I will never love another man.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
Dr. Evil, I'm late.
No, you got here right on time.
No, I mean, I'm late.
Frau looks at Dr. Evil. Get what I'm saying? Dr. Evil widens his eyes and gets it.
Oh.
Nearby, the time machine is activated and Scott Evil spins into the room.
Dad!
Scott! Hey there, sport! What are you doing here?
Scott approaches his father.
I was just thinking maybe we could work all this out. After all, you are my father.
Scott, you had your chance, okay? I already had someone created in my image.
At the evil table, Dr. Evil's chair spins, revealing Mini-Me.
He's evil, he wants to take over the world, and fits easily in most overhead storage bins.
Mini-Me thinks about that one, nods his head. Hurtful, but he's right.
Him? Look at him. He's crazy. He's like a vicious little chihuahua thing. He'll kill me the first chance he gets.
Probably.
Mini-Me nods. Dr. Evil looks at him.
I love you.
Mini-Me responds with, I love you, in ASL. Dr. Evil smirks like a little kid. In exterior Austin's London pad, night. The streets of London are close to empty. No Austin Powers. Where is he? Interior Austin's London pad, bathroom, continuous. Austin is developing photos with a red light in a bathtub. Hope people still make photos this way. All of the pictures are his frozen self in the cryo chamber. Austin hangs the photos up to dry.
I'm a sexy bitch, yes. Felicity, make yourself at home, baby.
Interior Austin's London pad, main living room, continuous. Every bright, radiant color from 60s is in this room. Felicity explores. She hears Austin calling out to him.
What do you think of my shag pad, darling?
It's amazing, Austin.
Interior Austin's shag pad bathroom, continuous.
Oh,
Austin turns to the hanging pictures and something catches his eye.
wait a tick.
He looks closer at one of the pictures. He pushes the side of his glasses. Beep. Austin's point of view. His glasses zoom into the photo like 007 Gadget. His glasses magnify closer, and his glasses notice a small hole in the ice.
That's how my mojo was stolen. That bastard. Uh-oh.
Now the audience sees the magnified glasses, and Austin's eyes are as big as Professor Trelawney's.
She's a professional agent. She's not interested in shagging. Please, God. Spectacles, testicles, wallet, and watch.
Austin, I'm waiting.
Austin pushes the magnifying button on his glasses. Beep. He leaves the bathroom. Interior Austin's shag pad main room, continuous. Austin walks into the very colorful room. Felicity is on his bed. Austin takes a step back and Felicity sits up.
How about one of your world-famous massages?
Oh, you mean a sensual massage?
Austin approaches the bed. Felicity moves to the front of the bed. To the side, Austin picks up a blue bottle.
Right then. Okay. Here we go. Yes.
Austin sits behind Felicity, squirts oil onto his hands from the blue bottle, and starts to massage Felicity's shoulders.
Oh, wait a minute. Something's itching me.
Felicity gets up and releases multiple flaps from her dress. Her bare back faces Austin.
Ah, that's better.
Mikey.
Austin squeezes the blue bottle and oil squirts out. He pants like a dog. Felicity sits down in front of Austin. Austin returns to the massage.
How does that feel, baby?
Lower.
How does that feel, baby?
Felicity smiles and turns around to face Austin. Austin is caught off guard.
What?
You didn't have to be cute with me. We're way past that.
Austin backs up as Felicity crawls toward him.
We are?
What do you think?
Austin appears upset and not happy with what he's about to say next.
Listen, Felicity, I'm sorry. I can't do this.
Felicity reacts sympathetically and confused by Austin shutting her down. Austin gets off the bed.
Is it me?
I can't explain.
Austin is out of answers, grabs his jacket and leaves the pad. Felicity is confused. Beep, beep, beep. Behind Felicity, a TV screen with a younger Basil on the screen rises into frame.
Hello, Agent Shagwell. Where's Austin?
I must have said something wrong, so he just left all of a sudden.
Listen, Felicity, I don't want you getting too close to Austin. It's not meant to be.
I don't get too close to anybody, Basil. My interest in this case is purely professional.
Good.
Basil pulls the picture of Fat Bastard into his camera.
Then you won't mind tracking down Fat Bastard tonight.
No problem.
Basil shows Felicity a big tracking device that looks like a fat missile, blinking red nose at the end of it.
We need you to plant this homing device on him by any means necessary.
No problem.
Keep up the good work. Remember, by any means necessary.
Oh dear. Felicity gets up. Cut to exterior London streets, Austin driving, night. Austin drives his car. He's upset by his recent encounter. Big Ben is visible in the background. Interior Ministry of Defense cryo chamber, night. Austin is face to face with his frozen self.
Look at yourself. You used to be so fertile. You were a swinger man. And now you're nothing. But at least it can't get any worse.
Oh, Austin, you shouldn't have said that last sentence. Cut to interior London hotel room, night. The most disgusting scene in this entire trilogy. Fat Bastard is naked in bed with a nude Felicity. All R and X-rated body parts are covered by the sheets. Felicity is smoking a cigarette. Not sure how this worked, but just enjoy yourself, I guess. Fat Bastard has food on his face and holds up a giant chicken leg, a complete slob.
Well, surprise, surprise, huh? I'm dead sexy. Look at my sexy body.
There's pieces of chicken all over his chest as he touches those spots to show off his body. Felicity is repulsed.
Oh, yeah? Oh, look, I'm like a singer.
Fat Bastard uses the chicken leg like a microphone.
Oh, sexy man, eating like a sexy man can.
He turns to Felicity.
Hey, would you like chicken? I've got more.
No thanks.
Fat Bastard turns to the giant buffet of room service next to the bed. Remains of the chicken on one side of the cart. The rest is enough to feed an entire crew on a film set.
All right, that's done.
Behind the bastard, Felicity pulls out an overly big homing device. She twists the device and the red light blinks. She looks down at the, forgive me folks, ass crack of Fat Bastard. Felicity is getting more repulsed by thinking,
Basil.
Remember, by any means necessary.
Felicity gulps and moves the giant homing device toward the crack. Fat Bastard has no idea as he continues to look around the food cart, and then...
Oh, frisky are we?
Fat Bastard moves his body toward Felicity's.
Get up!
Ah!
The scene is over, folks. Interior Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair, night. Frau, number 2, Mini-Me, Scott, and all of the henchmen watch Dr. Evil's presentation. A big globe, an exercise ball, sits in a metal holder as a small moon is attached to it by a round piece of metal.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to begin phase 2 of our evil project. Or is it a phase? I don't know phases.
Dr. Evil holds a small replica of a laser in his hand.
Anyways, this is the phase where we put the giant laser on the moon. As you know, the moon rotates around the Earth like so.
Dr. Evil places the replica laser on the small moon. He pushes the moon and it rotates around the globe. No one reacts. Pause.
When the moon reaches its appropriate lunar alignment, it will destroy Washington, D.C.
A bullseye target is on Washington, D.C. on the exercise globe.
You see, I've turned our moon into what I'd like to call a Death Star. What?
Oh, nothing, Darth.
What did you call me?
Oh, nothing. Rip off!
Bless you. Anyways, the key to the plan is the giant laser. It was invented by the noted Cambridge physicist Dr. Parsons. Therefore, we shall call it the Alan Parsons Project.
Oh my god.
What now?
The Alan Parsons Project is a progressive rock band in 1982, all right? Why don't you just call it Operation Wang Chung, ass?
What should we?
Nothing. I'm sure Operation Bananarama will be huge.
What are you saying?
If you wanted trying to be hip,
www.com.org.
You're so.
Chris number 2, gets up.
Dr. Evil,
Number 2 walks up to the globe next to Dr. Evil.
if we could put aside the family squabbling for a moment, I think we could get down to some serious business here.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't like that incident tone.
I meant nothing by it.
No. You want to run things around here?
Dr. Evil picks up the globe and bounces it like a basketball.
No, not at all.
You want to be daddy? Is that it? Number 2, you want to wear daddy pants? You want to cry? You're going to cry, huh?
Slap. Dr. Evil throws the globe to number 2's face.
Huh.
You're going to cry? You're going to cry?
Slap. Dr. Evil hits him again.
Oh, what are you doing?
Are you going to squirt some? Are you going to cry?
Slap. Number 2 starts crying.
Oh, you see? Oh, you're going to cry. You're a big man now, huh? Yeah, thought so.
Dr. Evil keeps bouncing the ball. Number 2 keeps crying. Frau appears impatient. Dr. Evil doesn't notice. Throws the globe back into the metal holder. 3 points. Small celebration from Herr Delusional Doctor. Cut 2. Exterior Piccadilly Circus day. Beautiful streets of London are very active as Austin's rainbow Volkswagen bug pulls over. He sees Felicity observing clothes. Exterior groovy outer clothes shop continuous. Austin gets out of the car and approaches her.
Felicity,
Austin?
about last night.
That's okay. You don't have to explain.
Felicity continues to look at clothes while Austin steps closer to her.
No. You don't understand. You see, I've lost my mojo.
Oh, so that's why you...
Yes.
Oh, I thought you didn't like me.
Oh, no, baby. You're shagadelic. I just didn't want to fall in love again, and I thought you'd never love me without my mojo. It's not you. You're fab. You're switched on. You're a bit of all right, yeah.
Oh, that's so great.
Felicity pulls out a remote out of her purse.
There's something I should tell you too. Last night I planted a homing device on Fat Bastard.
Austin takes the remote.
Smashing, baby. Then we can track down Fat Bastard, get back my mojo, go back to my place, hop on the good foot, and do the right thing. Yeah.
But there's more. In order to get close to Fat Bastard, I had to...
Hello?
Beep, beep. Austin looks at the remote.
The signal's coming through. He's at Paddington Station.
Austin's point of view. A small red dot blinks on the tracking remote. Austin and Felicity pull out their guns.
Let's go.
They both run out of frame. Cut to interior Paddington Station hallway day. 2 soldiers aim their weapons. Austin and Felicity use their tracker as if they were searching for treasure.
We're close, baby.
This way, straight. No, left, through here.
Austin and Felicity walk down the hallway with armed soldiers following them. Austin signals the soldiers to halt. Felicity's point of view. 2 red dots are practically next to each other on the tracker device.
We've got him. Private, bring up the RAM.
In front of Austin and Felicity is a door that reads Private. A soldier with a battering ram walks through the group of soldiers. Bam! He hits the door and slams open.
Go, go, go.
Interior bathroom continuous. Austin, Felicity, and the soldiers enter an empty bathroom. Only a toilet in front of them. Inside the bowl is a blinking red light.
Where is he?
Austin, Felicity, and the soldiers aim their weapons at the toilet. All except Felicity are immediately repulsed and disgusted.
Oh my God, that bastard left a floater! In the name of all things sacred, that is the most foul-smelling thing ever! Somebody flush it down.
No, nobody touch anything. We have to get this sample to the lab to be analyzed.
Austin gags. Felicity and the other soldiers move out of the way. A scientist that looks dressed to be the doctor from E.T. enters the room with a small net and a grabber reacher tool. As he approaches the toilet, cut to Interior Ministry of Defense Lab Day. We see a big beaker on top of a platform with brown liquid in it. The beaker reads, Fat Bastard Stool Sample. Ew. Next to the gross beaker is the coffee pot. Who puts them right next to each other? With a mug in his hand, Austin picks up the coffee and Felicity enters the room.
Austin, there you are.
Her arrival startles Austin and he puts the coffee pot down. He faces her.
Has the sample been analyzed?
Cool, baby. You look very shagadelic, yeah.
He's not kidding. Heather George Grant looks amazing.
But do we really have to be here, Felicity? I mean, it's so boring.
Not noticing, Austin grabs the Fat Bastard stool sample beaker and pours the liquid into the coffee mug.
I don't believe in science. When it comes to spy game me, it's all instinct.
He says that as he pours the liquid into his mug. He gets ready to drink it until Basil is heard off camera, stopping Austin. Thank God.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, Basil.
Basil enters the room, showing everyone papers in his hand.
The results are in. We've discovered trace elements of a rare vegetable found only on one island.
He points to a map behind Felicity.
Here, in the Caribbean.
Whoop-dee, Basil. What does it all mean?
Austin picks up a jar of sugar from the table and pours it into his coffee. Basil continues to tell Austin the good news.
It means that this is the location of Dr. Evil's lair.
Smashing, Basil.
Austin pulls the mug close to his lips, and the smell cannot be mistaken this close.
Cool. This coffee smells like shit.
Basil looks at the beaker with the clear writing mentioned many times earlier.
It is shit, Austin.
Everyone in the room immediately notices what Austin is about to do.
Oh, good. Then it's not just me.
Austin drinks the coffee. Basil and Felicity shut their eyes. All of the scientists are disgusted and repulsed. Austin lowers the mug and has a mustache.
It's a bit nutty.
Everyone in the room groans. Gag. Interior Dr. Evil's secret volcano lair. Day. It's over, folks. Now, back to Dr. Evil. On the evil table, 2 cookies sit on a red plate. Number 2 reaches for them, but Mini-Me dives for them. He growls at number 2.
Excuse me, Dr. Evil. I have to speak to you about this Mini-Me.
He's not fitting in? Is he giving off too much of a creepy Oompa Loompa vibe?
No, it's just that he bites.
Dr. Evil looks at Mini-Me. He nods. Number 2 shows Dr. Evil his heavy bandaged arm.
He's a biter.
What's wrong, Mini-Me? Is there something you'd like to tell us?
Mini-Me shakes his head. Dr. Evil turns back to number 2.
Teething.
With his sharp teeth, Mini-Me bites into his finger and shakes his head. Dr. Evil turns to the audience.
Get me the President of the United States of America!
Cut to Interior White House Situation Room, continuous. President Tim Robbins sits at the table with generals and secretaries. The White House closed-circuit television turns on, and Dr. Evil appears on the screen.
What do you want, Dr. Evil?
Mr. President, in 12 hours, I will destroy Washington, D.C. with this giant laser.
On the CCTV, the giant laser is revealed. Mini-Me is humping the back of it. Seriously. Back to Dr. Evil.
Mini-Me, stop humping the laser. Okay, honest to God, why don't you and the giant laser get a frickin' room, for God's sakes? Mr. President, after I destroy Washington, D.C., I will destroy another major city every hour on the hour, unless, of course, you pay me.
Dramatic zoom in.
$100 billion.
The president and everyone in the room with him laugh at Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil, this is 1969. That amount of money doesn't even exist. That's like saying, I want a bajillion dollars.
The president and the general from the first film continue to laugh at the room.
Come on, Mr. President. Show me the money. Show me the money! Show me the money! Are you a graduate? Hello? Tier? Nothing?
Interior Dr. Evil's lair continuous. Scott can't take it anymore.
It's 1969. Jerry Maguire won't come out for another 30 years. Nobody knows what you're talking about, ass.
Scott, Daddy's working, okay? And when you're in the main chamber, try and use the big boy voice, okay?
Scott rolls his eyes. Just can't win with this guy. Dr. Evil turns back to the president. Interior White House Situation Room continuous.
Mr. President, allow me to demonstrate the awesome lethality of the Alan Parsons Project. Fire the laser!
Cut to Exterior White House, 1996, continuous. 16. The White House is destroyed by a blue beam from a group of super intelligent extraterrestrials that God sends Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum would outsmart with a computer virus. Interior White House Situation Room, 1969, continuous. President Andy Dufresne ducks for cover under the table and everyone follows.
Damage report! Damage report!
The general from the first film, Charles Napier, who has not aged a day, breaks the tension.
It's okay. It's all right. Come on.
The Shawshank president gets back up, and as usual, everyone follows. All of them sit in their seats.
Well, actually, that was just footage from the movie Independence Day, but the real days would be a lot like that. Yeah. Scary.
Dr. Evil.
Talk to the hand, because the face doesn't want to talk to you anymore.
What hand? Talk to your hand? What
You ain't all that in a bag of potato chips.
are you talking about?
Don't go there, girlfriend. Mm-hmm.
Whose girlfriend?
Don't mess with me, I'm one crazy mofo. I had to pop a cop because he wasn't giving me my props in Oaktown. No, I heard that somewhere.
You're an idiot.
Mr. President, I think we have an understanding. Bye-bye.
The TV shuts off. Interior Dr. Evil's lair, continuous.
What are our plans regarding Austin Powers?
Austin Powers. He's the snake to my mongoose. Or the mongoose to my snake. Either way, it's bad. I don't know animals. But I do know this. This time it's personal. Kill him.
Exterior ocean day. The periscope rises out of the water and it's attached to submarine. Austin's point of view. The audience sees Dr. Evil's tough and miss on the head of the volcano.
There's Dr. Evil's island.
periscope moves closer to the island. Cut to exterior island day. Austin and Felicity in scuba gear walk onto the beach. They both pull a float with a giant brown bag on it. Behind the bag are 2 backpacks built for camping. Felicity takes off her scuba gear, and we see George Graham and Ursula Andreas bikini from Dr. No. Romantic music plays in the background as Felicity moves her hair in slow motion. Next to her is Austin with flippers on, but that's not all. The music continues, and Austin is wearing the exact same outfit. Moves his head because he's a sexy bitch. Felicity turns to him and notices what he's wearing. What the hell? Austin notices too. The music stops abruptly, and Austin looks at Andra's top.
Let's set up camp.
Be careful with the bag. There's explosives in it. This could be dangerous.
A nearby sign reads, "Keep out, Dr. Evil's private Volcano Island, no solicitors." Austin and Felicity pull the float across the beach. Interior Dr. Evil's main room day. Dr. Evil is playing One of Us on the grand piano. On top of the piano is Mini-Me playing a smaller piano. Everyone except Scott watches the show.
What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us. Blue, 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 blue. Ya blah blee blee blee. Doon 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 doon.
Dr. Evil finishes the song with Mini-Me. When they're done, Mini-Me claps, as does Dr. Evil and the rest of the Scottless Evil room.
Well done. Very good.
Number 2 stands up and claps.
Dr. Evil, that was fantastic.
Thank you, number 2. I wrote that. Yeah.
Scott steps into the room holding a dead skunk.
Dad, you put this in my bed.
Who?
Your stupid you. He put roadkill in my sheets.
Mini-Me points to him and is proud of what he did. You're welcome, bitch. Scott walks away. Dr. Evil is not amused.
What? Mini-Me! Don't you ever do that again! You hear me? Don't you ever do that again!
Mini-Me appears scared and upset. Give Dr. Evil an "I'm sorry" face.
Oh, I can't stay mad at you. Look at that bonum!
Guess Dr. Evil was amused. Exterior Volcano Island dusk. Austin's point of view through binoculars. We see statue, Dr. Evil's head, and the windows that would be his eyes.
Dr. Evil's headquarters is right over the next ridge.
A tent is right behind them.
Let me look.
Felicity pulls the binoculars to see to her eyes without realizing the strap is still around Austin's neck, and he starts gagging.
Damn it, how do we get in?
He lowers the binoculars and Austin goes down too.
Hello, Mommy.
Felicity looks down and Austin is right on top of her chest.
Oh, Mommy, can I have some chocolate?
Austin.
I want some Mars bars. Don't smack my bottom, Mommy.
Austin.
Austin gets up.
Sorry, love. I got stuck in your dirty pillows.
Let's look at the map.
With the strap still around his neck, Felicity pulls the gagging Austin toward the tent. Whack! Austin hits the pole of the tent and falls back.
Oh, God.
Interior tent continuous. Felicity walks past a bag that reads, Ministry of Defense Private Island Survival Kit. Austin is on his knees in a crawling position with a giant map beneath him. His shadow is clearly seen on the wall of the tent. Felicity turns the light on in the lantern. She looks at the inside of the brown bag.
Austin, what's our plan?
According to this map, the entire island is crawling with Dr. Evil's guards.
I want to make sure the explosives didn't get wet, but I can't find them.
Look in the bottom.
Okay, I'll dig a little deeper.
Felicity puts her hand into the bag. Exterior tent continuous. From outside of the tent, we can see Felicity's shadow and Austin's shadow. We can also see Felicity giving Austin a cavity search.
Wow, this bag is really full.
A group of armed soldiers with machine guns at the ready approach the tent very quietly. They aim their weapons at the shadow scene that they are about to see.
Just keep digging just keep digging, darling.
I'll just feel around for them.
Felicity moves her arm deeper into the bag, but appearing as Austin's ass to the soldiers. They are confused by what they are seeing. Is this happening right now? Interior tent continuous. Felicity pulls at the end of the rope from the bag.
Good Lord, Austin, what sort of things do you keep in here?
Exterior tent continuous. Felicity is pulling the rope out, but the rope is tied in knots and still appears to be slowly coming out of Austin's bottom. The soldiers are disgusted.
Anything that catches my fancy, you know.
Felicity keeps pulling, and more knots are slowly coming out of the bag.
Give it a good tug.
Felicity pulls an umbrella from Austin's ass, according to the shadows. She opens it inside the tent.
Oh, do we really need this?
I'll ask you not to open that inside, thank you very much, okay?
Sorry.
The lead disgusted guard can't hold his tongue out anymore.
Oh my God.
Psst. From outside the tent, it looks like smoke is exiting from Austin's behind.
Oops, it went off. Yuck.
Yes, it does that from time to time.
The guards are more disgusted than ever and turn away. Interior tent continuous. The gas cloud is coming from a canister that reads smoke bomb.
Ugh, yuck.
Yes, yeah, that's nasty.
Exterior tent continuous. Austin is still in the same position and the smoke still appears as a gas cloud. Felicity tries to be a human fan.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Smelly.
All of the guards cannot believe what they are seeing.
Oh, these people make me sick.
Can you snap me a beer?
Austin remains in the position and Felicity uses a bottle opener from Austin's ass to open a beer. Most likely a Heineken. She drinks the beer. The disgusted guard probably wants a raise after watching this.
Ah!
What is it?
Felicity pulls what appears to be a
It's a gerbil. How did that get in your bag?
interior tent continuous. Felicity holds Lemmy winks. Austin looks at it.
I don't know.
Interior Dr. Evil's main room, night. Number 2 stands up.
Number 2.
Sorry. Lost the page.
88 on the PDF.
Thank you. Dr. Evil, we have a problem. Austin Powers is on the island.
Bring him to me, alive.
Number 2 turns around to the line of guards.
Ah, you.
He snaps to the guards to get moving. Dr. Evil has something else in his mind.
Hit it.
Just the two of us starts playing. Dr. Evil talks to Mini-Me.
This is a very sensitive subject.
Dr. Evil hugs Mini-Me. Scott rolls his eyes. One of the guards clearly loves the song.
Just
the two of us.
Yeah.
Just the two of us.
From the moment I heard Frau say I had a clone, I knew that I'd be safe because I'd never be alone. An evil doctor shouldn't speak a lot about his feelings. My heart and my pain look to a feeling. I'd say Scott would look up to me, run the business of the family. Head an evil empire like his zero dad. Give him my love and the things I never had. Scott would think I was a cool guy. Return the love I have, make me want to cry. Be evil. Have my feelings too. Changed my mind with Oprah and Maya Angelou. But Scott rejected me. C'est la vie. Life is cruel, teach you unfairly. Even so, a God there must be. Mini-Me, you complete me.
Just
the two
of
of us.
We can
We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
Two of us. Just the two of us.
We're building castles in the sky, just the two of us.
You and I.
Dr. Evil and Mini-Me continue to dance while number 2 looks very confused. Why is this happening? Just enjoy yourself. Scott clearly does not, and he exits the room. Exterior tent, night. The shadow scene continues. A tennis racket's handle is in one end of the bag, while Felicity hits it with a mallet.
You got this packed really tight.
She keeps hitting the racket, forcing the guards to turn away in disgust.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just got a bit of a back cramp, that's all.
Felicity keeps hitting the racket, resulting in gags from the guards.
Oh,
Just keep packing it in.
oh, God.
Interior tent, continuous.
All right, I found the explosives. Help me check them.
Felicity pulls explosives out of the actual bag. Exterior tent, continuous. The guards can't take it anymore. They get up and aim their weapons at the tent.
You're surrounded! Drop your weapons! Hands up!
Interior tent, continuous. Austin and Felicity get up and face the screen. Felicity picks up the bag, holds it behind Austin. Exterior tent, continuous. According to the shadows, Austin and Felicity have their hands up, but more objects fall out of Austin's ass.
Move out!
Interior Dr. Evil's lair, later. We now have a better look at the lair being over a volcano. A giant rocket is at the end, and the guards appear to be busy. Dr. Evil and his evil confidants sit at the evil table, as usual. Dr. Evil and Mini-Me are wearing spacesuits that are as silver as a mirror.
Ladies and gentlemen, in just a few moments, we're gonna place a giant laser on the moon. From my Death Star, I will destroy every city on the planet.
Nearby, Austin and Felicity are pushed into the room with their hands up. Two armed guards follow them.
Not for me.
Ah, Mr. Powers, Miss Shagwag. Welcome to my hollowed out volcano. This is my associate, Fat Bastard.
Fat Bastard waves at them.
Felicity, I think the two of you may have already met.
Unfortunately,
Oh, is that all I get for the night of hot sex? I'm dead sexy. You a crap!
Oh, yes. In your dreams. Felicity would never sleep with you. Right?
I did what I had to do. I'm a secret agent.
How? Seriously, how? Austin is devastated.
What?
All right, that's enough, Fat Bastard. As much as I like seeing Powers in agony, and I do, the thought of you naked is just gross.
Fat Bastard is clearly hurt, but Dr. Evil isn't done yet. He lifts Austin's mojo into frame.
You can't stop me, Mr. Powers. I have your mojo, and I'm taking it with me to the moon. Put him in the jail cell!
The two guards push Austin and Felicity into a nearby hallway.
My mojo! I'll get you, Dr. Evil! I'll get you!
Oh, look at me. I'm shaking in my tiny little space boots.
I want my mojo! Give me my mojo!
Austin and Felicity are pushed out of frame. Meanwhile, Scott wonders about something.
Great plan, Einstein. You're going to put him in a cell with one inept guard and they'll escape. God, you do this every time.
Mini-Me pulls out a piece of paper and draws on it. Dr. Evil gives his speech.
You know, Scott, I have been a frickin' evil doctor for 30 frickin' years, okay? Cut me some frickin' slack. You forget, Scott, we're in a volcano. We're surrounded by liquid hot magma.
Mini-Me draws and looks at Scott in the process.
What are you drawing?
Mini-Me points to Scott and hands the paper to Dr. Evil.
Just a goodbye card, that's all.
Dr. Evil looks at the paper and tries to keep his cool.
It's sweet.
Dr. Evil slides the paper to Scott and turns to Mini-Me with a, "What the hell, man?" type of look. Mini-Me's reaction, "Whatever, man." Scott's point of view. First up, the paper reads, "From the desk of Dr. Evil," and is a hand-drawn hangman of a stick figure being choked out. The bottom reads, "Die, Scott." Scott angrily launches himself at Mini-Me. Number 2 holds him back.
Hey, get him! Get the baby!
No, back off.
Kill him!
Simmer down, simmer down.
Mini-Me dances with his hands raised. "What are you going to do? Come and get me."
He's my posse.
Okay.
Number 2 wins a battle with Scott, and the evil son sits down. Can't help but glare at Mini-Me. Behind Mini-Me, a guard walks behind Mini-Me.
You take special care of him.
As the guard picks up Mini-Me,
He's my special boy!
Attention, prepare for launch.
Fat Bastard moves away from what is the entrance to the rocket, which has 2 chairs. Beep, beep. The horn of the electric tricycle is heard. Mini-Me is driving, signaling Dr. Evil to get up and stand on the back of the bike.
Repeat, all technicians to launch position.
Gentlemen, I'm about to go to the moon.
Initiate pre-launch sequence.
The bike rolls up to the entrance to the rocket. 2 guards place space glass fishbowl-like helmets on Dr. Evil and Mini-Me's heads.
Main rocket engine.
In the center of Dr. Evil's chest is a speaker. Once the helmet is fastened, we hear his voice from the speaker.
Frau, begin the countdown.
All of the guards run up to the table and watch the launch. Number 2 holds a remote with a long antenna.
5, 4, 3,
Frau,
2,
begin the countdown at 30.
30, 29, 28.
Dr. Evil and Mini-Me salute them. They both hold metal briefcases as they enter the rocket.
27, 26, 25.
Dr. Evil and Mini-Me sit down in the evil rocket chairs. As the doors closes, the 2 wave at everyone.
24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17.
Interior rocket continuous. Dr. Evil and Mini-Me look bored. Interior Dr. Evil Lair continuous. The doors open. Dr. Evil tries to get Frau's attention.
16, 15, 14, 13.
You know what? When the door's closed, just say go. Better.
Frau nods again. The doors to the rocket close.
Go.
Number 2 pushes the button. Boom! Fire shoots out of the rocket. The entire lair shakes. Interior rocket continuous. Beep, beep. Rapid beeping is heard as Dr. Evil and Mini-Me are shaking with the rocket. Exterior rocket continuous. The evil rocket rises into the air. Exterior Volcano Lair continuous. The rocket launches out of the Dr. Evil's statue head and into the air. Interior radar room continuous. On the radar screen, what looks like an insert every joke from this upcoming scene is moving across the scene. Beep. An operator watches this happen.
Colonel, you better take a look at this radar.
A colonel enters frame.
What is it, son?
I don't know, sir. It looks like a giant...
Exterior flying jet in the sky, continuous. 2 fighter pilots, one named Dick, are talking to each other as they notice Dr. Evil's rocket.
Yeah?
Take a look on the starboard.
Oh my god, it looks like a huge...
Pecker.
Exterior woods, continuous. 2 bird watchers are looking for, well, birds. One looks toward the, pecker.
Oh, where?
Wait, that's not a woodpecker. It looks like someone's...
Bats!
Exterior army base, continuous. A sergeant yells commands at the privates. Yeah.
We have reports of an unidentified flying object. It has a Long, smooth shaft, complete with
2 balls.
Exterior Little League baseball game. Continuous. Player at bat, catcher behind him, and an umpire during a game. The umpire pulls off his mask and lurks toward the balls.
What is that? That looks just like an enormous...
Ring.
Interior classroom. Continuous. A teacher notices a student is paying attention. All the students turn to Wang.
Pay attention.
I was distracted by that enormous flying.
Silly.
Exterior stage. Continuous. On stage is legendary Willie Nelson with his band. His lead guitarist sees something other than the legend.
Yeah,
What's that?
I don't know. Looks like a giant.
Johnson.
Exterior radar room. Continuous. Back in the radar room, the colonel has made a decision about the so-called object.
Yes, sir.
Get on the horn to British intelligence and let them know about this.
The radar operator picks up a red phone. Cut to interior jail cell in Dr. Evil's lair. Continuous. Austin and Felicity enter a room with metal walls, their hands up. One armed guard aims his machine gun at them. Austin turns around, but the guard is ready with his gun. Austin walks to the end of the room, but what's beneath their feet, the metal grate keeping them from a small drop into lava. Austin turns around and the grate starts to open in the middle. Felicity and Austin stand on opposite sides of the room as the chair falls into the lava and explodes in fire. The grate slowly moves toward the leads.
What do we do?
Why don't you go shag that bastard again?
Austin, this is no time to get jealous.
Well, how could you do it?
I was just doing my job.
No, I mean literally. How could you do it? The man's so fat, the sheer mechanics of it are mind-boggling.
Look, don't try to lay your hang-ups on me just because you lost your mojo.
Ouch, baby. Very ouch.
The two lovebirds are starting to run out of room as the grates are getting closer.
Look, Austin, we're running out of time. I'm sorry. I just did what I thought you would do in the same situation. You're the reason that I became a spy. I thought I wanted to be you, but then I realized that I want to be with you.
You do?
Yeah.
Well, hang on, baby. Alley-oop.
Austin jumps over the lava and lands on the other side with Felicity. Outside, a red telephone rings, and one inept guard answers it.
Look, maybe we could talk about this later. First, we need to get past that one inept guard.
Right, here's the plan. What if I pretend to be desperately ill with food poisoning? The guard, drawn by my cries of pain, comes to investigate. Meanwhile, you dig a pit, line it with makeshift punji sticks made from sharpened toothbrushes. The guard falls in. Bob's your uncle. We escape. What do you think?
That might work, but what about this?
Felicity unhooks her top and turns to the guard. She flashes her breasts.
What do you think of these, my man?
With his hands up, the guard walks towards her.
Mommy!
Felicity moves out of the way and...
Ah!
Boom! The guard falls into the fiery pit of lava and combusts into flames.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Oh, what a burn. That sort of thing can get a man fired. I think he was hot for you.
That's enough.
Yeah.
They escape. Exterior Dr. Evil's moon base. Space. A giant rock on the moon. Two giant doors open, revealing the interior of Dr. Evil's base. Tubes are attached to the rock, showing the top of the base hallways. Interior Dr. Evil's moon base. Continuous.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my moon base.
Dr. Evil and Mini-Me sit in big chairs with remotes attached to the armrests. He addresses an open room with armed guards and scientists. There is a time machine, the laser, a control center in the middle of the room, and a window showing us the Earth.
You've all been chosen to be part of my elite moon unit, which is divided into 2 divisions, Moon Unit Alpha and Moon Unit Zappa. In exactly 6 hours...
Mini-Me holds up 6 fingers. Dr. Evil shows an animation of the laser destroying Washington, D.C.
The moon will move into its orbit around Earth, bringing Washington, D.C. within range of my giant laser. Begin! Laser. Ignition sequence!
Frau Farbissina is on the moon base, and I'm guessing it's a variant of her because how did she get there? Oh yeah, just enjoy yourself. By the way, she's holding a small whip.
Begin laser ignition!
Whip! She whips her side. It scares Dr. Evil.
Attention. Moon Unit Zappa to firing stations. Initiation sequence in progress.
Meanwhile, Dr. Evil is controlling his chair. The controls are not working. The chair starts spinning. He lets go of the controls, but the chair continues to spin. Meanwhile, Dr. Evil is controlling his chair. The controls are not working. The chair starts spinning. He lets go of the controls, but the chair continues to spin.
Okay, all right.
The chair keeps spinning. Dr. Evil puts his legs up, yet the chair doesn't stop spinning.
All I asked was a frickin' rotating chair, okay? All right, okay, getting a little afraid, okay.
The chair is turning into Reagan from The Exorcist, beyond control of anyone else that isn't a demon.
I need an old priest and a young priest. The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you.
The chair spins really fast this time.
Whoa, hello, okay. Sick as a dog now. Okay. Gonna vomit. Ugh.
Exterior Earth sky day. The Shagadelic Austin Powers airplane flies into the air.
We need to hitch a ride to the moon, baby.
Exterior Kennedy Space Center, Cape Canaveral day. The Apollo 11 rocket is preparing to launch the first trip to the moon.
Apollo 11 is good to go. Crew to all stations.
Interior cockpit of Apollo 11 continuous. Austin and Felicity are in spacesuits, ready for their flight. The door shuts above them. There's 3 people on board, assuming the third is Neil Armstrong.
We will have liftoff in T-minus 5 seconds. 4, 3.
Interior mission control station continuous. The mission commander, Fred Willard, counts down. Basil stands on the right.
2, 1.
Exterior bottom of Apollo 11 continuous. Boom, the rocket lifts off.
We have liftoff. Apollo 11 has cleared the tower and is heading for a rendezvous with the moon.
Exterior sky continuous. Apollo 11 lifts into the sky with footage from Apollo 13. Interior cockpit continuous. Austin screams, but Felicity.
Woohoo!
Interior Dr. Evil's moon base space. Dr. Evil's chair is still, while 2 evil henchmen make adjustments to the mini-me chair.
Arm the laser.
A chair with Frau rises into the small control room.
Arming the laser! Attention, arming the Death Star.
Frau pushes a few buttons and the laser lights up.
Laser on! All crew to battle stations.
Frau operates the controls and the laser moves toward the window, showing the Earth.
Get me the president. You're gonna like this part, Mini-Me.
Meanwhile, Mini-Me's chair starts to go Reagan, but up and down instead of spinning.
This is the part where we threaten the world leader. I know we do it every time. However, it is important to...
The lifts up Mini-Me goes flying upward.
Eee!
Mini-Me?
Dr. Evil turns around. No Mini-Me. The chair lowers and pretends like nothing is wrong with these frickin' rotating chairs.
Mini-Me, where are you? Could someone put a frickin' bell on him or something?
Eee!
Dr. Evil looks up and sees Mini-Me holding onto a metal bar in the ceiling for his dear life.
Eee! Eee!
Great. Somebody get the stick!
A henchman approaches with a long stick that looks like a hook on the end of it.
Just grab onto the hook. All right? You complete me. I love you. Hang in there, Mini-Me.
The hook gets closer to Mini-Me as he hangs onto the pole.
If anything should happen to you, I don't know what I would do. I'd probably move on. Get another replica. But there would be a 10-minute period there. Then I would be inconsolable.
Nearby, a TV screen turns on, and the President Tim Robbins is back.
We have your money, Dr. Evil, but it wasn't easy.
Papa has to do some work, okay?
Dr. Evil turns away from Mini-Me and speaks with the President.
Well, you have exactly 30 minutes to give it to me.
Interior White House Situation Room continuous. Dr. Evil is on the White House CCTV. He waves.
Ciao.
The CCTV shuts off. The President can't keep it together.
Jimmy jumping Jesus, I can't believe we're gonna pay that madman. Got nukes at the yin yang. Let me launch just one.
As the President reaches for the red phone, General Napier holds his arm back.
Sir, are you suggesting that we blow up the moon?
Miss it? Would you miss it?
Exterior moon space. The lunar module Eagle slowly drops onto the moon's surface. Dr. Evil's moon base is not far from their landing. Very quickly, there is a quick shot from the actual 1969 space mission.
Mission control. The swinger has landed. Yeah.
Exterior Dr. Evil's moon base, airlock later. Austin and Felicity approach the doors.
Airlock open.
Airlock open.
Interior Dr. Evil's moon base later. Austin and Felicity take off their space helmets. They both carry their weapons still in their spacesuits.
Pressurize.
Let's find Dr. Evil.
Enjoy your stay on the moon.
Hello, hello.
Through glass, we see a shadow that we assume belongs to Dr. Evil. The shadow is holding a small automatic weapon.
There he is.
Bang, bang. Austin fires 2 shots and the glass breaks. No Dr. Evil in sight.
I'll cover your rear.
No, you go ahead. This time, it's personal.
Austin steps forward with his gun at the ready. Felicity covers for him, then turns and walks down another hallway. Austin approaches the broken glass and looks around. No Dr. Evil. He looks on the other side of the glass. Nothing. Until...
Ah!
Mini-Me rises into frame. His hands are around Austin's neck. Austin chokes. Mini-Me punches Austin in the face.
Oh, 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 oh.
Mini-Me flips over Austin's shoulder and lands like a gymnast. Mini-Me trips Austin to the ground and punches him in the face so hard that Austin's glasses come off.
Oh.
As Austin is down, Mini-Me jumps and lands, elbow first.
Oh.
Mini-Me elbows him again.
Oh.
Mini-Me pulls on Austin's nose, and then he pushes Austin's head into the ground. He pushes on Austin's head, but Austin pushes up forcing Mini-Me back off him.
Ugh.
Mini-Me gets up and picks up Austin's head. Mini-Me knees him in the face.
Oh!
Mini-Me doesn't stop and then attempts to put both of his thumbs into Austin's eyes, Oberyn Martell style.
Oh! Oh!
Mini-Me realizes that doesn't work and then starts bitch slapping Austin as if he were on the Jerry Springer show. Mini-Me kicks Austin right between the legs.
Oh!
Mini-Me picks up Austin. Yes, he picks him up and spins him around like a pizza. He throws Austin, who starts crying.
No more! I can't take it anymore!
Mini-Me picks up Austin's glasses and shows him the peace gesture.
Please? You brought my glasses. Bless your little heart.
Austin puts his glasses back on. It's not long before Mini-Me flips off Austin.
Well, that's not right.
Mini-Me kicks Austin in the face.
Ah!
Mini-Me gets on Austin's back and tries to choke him.
So, that's just all right now, pissed.
Austin gets up with Mini-Me on his back.
Judo flip.
Austin flips Mini-Me over his shoulders. They are face to face. Mini-Me spits in his face. Ding! Austin throws Mini-Me into a metal pole, resulting in a face plant. Austin doesn't leave him.
Poor little bugger. So small. He's like a dog or something. Poor little bugger.
Austin is about to turn around, but Mini-Me gets up and sprints towards Austin.
Ah!
Mini-Me bites Austin's package.
Ah!
Austin tries to punch Mini-Me off.
Oh, get off!
Austin pushes Mini-Me's head into the metal pole into the room. No good. Mini-Me is a pit bull. Austin grabs Mini-Me's legs and Mini-Me lets go after spitting out a piece of the spacesuit. A huge hole is in the suit, and Austin wears undies with a British flag. Mini-Me makes the hole bigger and goes into the suit.
Oh, get out of my suit!
Mini-Me goes deeper into the suit. Austin starts to laugh.
It tickles. It tickles.
Mini-Me's leg goes out the neck hole of the suit and starts kicking Austin's head.
Oh!
Mini-Me keeps moving around the suit and gets trapped behind Austin's butt.
Gotcha!
Yee!
Luckily, behind Austin is a door that reads Lunar Disposal Unit. Austin opens the door. Interior Lunar Disposal Unit continuous. Austin steps into the room with Mini-Me in his spacesuit. Austin pushes a button and a hatch opens. He puts his Mini-Me into the hole, but he's still in the suit. A window showing us the nothingness of space is behind the unit. He's trying to get the suit to rip, but it's reminding me of the scene in the predecessor.
Yee! Yee! Yee!
Austin strains, trying to get the suit to rip. As the suit fails to rip, Austin picks up a London Times newspaper with the top headline, London's burning, heatwave continues. The suit won't rip. Austin notices a button that reads eject. He pushes it. Rip! The spacesuit rips. Mini-Me is seen through the window, flying into space. Austin notices.
Poor little bugger. I salute you.
Austin takes off his spacesuit and a blue jumpsuit is underneath. Austin cocks his weapon and leaves frame. Interior Dr. Evil's moonbase laser room continuous. The main doors open and Austin enters with his gun drawn. Guards are everywhere and scientists are at work. Austin aims his gun at Dr. Evil.
All right, slaphead, turn around.
Dr. Evil spins his exercise chair towards Austin.
Where's my mojo?
Well, it looks like you have a choice, Mr. Powers. Save the world or save your girlfriend.
Nearby, guards aim their gun at Austin. Behind the guards, Felicity spins into frame, behind glass and hands bound.
Austin!
Felicity!
At Felicity's shoes, smoke is released into the confined space.
Don't worry about me, Austin. You've got to save the world.
Kill him!
Bang, bang. The evil stormtroopers miss their easy target while Austin shoots 4 of them, no problem.
Fire the laser!
Target locking.
Click, click. Austin runs out of ammo. He throws his gun away.
Laser set to full vitality.
Austin runs towards Frau in the control center. Frau looks up to him.
Judo kick!
He kicks Frau in the face. The kick forces Frau forward. On the other side of the room, the laser turns hard left and fires. It misses Earth entirely. The screen reads, "Target missed." Felicity, however, has been in the smoke for too long. She loses consciousness.
You may have won the battle, Mr. Powers, but you lost the war.
Dr. Evil points to the unconscious Felicity.
No!
Austin sprints to Felicity.
No! No! Felicity!
Austin bangs in the glass.
Felicity, wake up! Felicity, wake up!
Meanwhile, Dr. Evil runs out of the room. Above Felicity, a steady beep is heard. The screen reads, "Heart monitor." Flatline below it. "No, George, no." Austin is devastated.
I love you, Felicity. I love you. Dr. Evil, I'll kill him.
Interior Dr. Evil's moonbase hallway later. Dr. Evil is in his spacesuit, slowly running away. Austin leaps around a corner and aims a machine at him. Bang! He hits Dr. Evil in the leg. Austin steps toward Dr. Evil, who is on the ground holding his leg. Dr. Evil switches his voice box on.
Ow! You shot me, you a-hole!
Austin is ready to empty the clip on Felicity's killer.
And now I'm going to kill you.
Before you do that... Ow, ow, ow!
Dr. Evil gets up.
Know this, Austin. I am your father.
Dun dun dun.
Really?
No, not really. I can't back that up.
Right, idiot. Yes.
With his hands up, Dr. Evil walks around Austin. Austin keeps his gun on him.
But isn't it interesting, Mr. Powers, that you would rather kill me than save your precious Felicity?
Dr. Evil now faces the broken glass window from earlier, and Austin has his back to it.
What do you mean?
Remember, there's a time portal in the main chamber. You could go back and save her.
Behind Austin, Frau approaches on the other side of the window.
I'll do that.
Bang, bang. Frau shoots the gun out of Austin's hand. Austin runs back to the laser room because there's a sign in the hallway that points to it. Safety first in an evil lair?
Felicity!
Austin runs out of the frame. Dr. Evil turns to Frau. Frau gives him a look that says, "What?" Frau still can't hear him. Dr. Evil switches on his voice box. It's so loud that Dr. Evil faints. Interior Dr. Evil's moonbase main room, continuous. Austin runs through the main doors and approaches the time machine. He sets the destination to 10 minutes ago. I guess this will turn him into a variant? Oh well. The machine activates and Austin steps into it. He spins through the hypnotic swirl. Interior Dr. Evil's moonbase main room, 10 minutes ago. The Austin we have been following the whole movie is still Austin when he arrives at the standoff from 10 minutes prior. He watches the scene again. Let's call the Austin in the standoff Austin passed. Henchmen aiming weapons at Austin passed. Dr. Evil does his Blofeld thing.
Well, it looks like you have a choice, Mr. Powers. Save the world or save your girlfriend.
Felicity spins into the confined space with her hands bound.
Austin!
Felicity!
Don't worry about me, Austin. You have to save the world.
Our Austin tiptoes toward Austin past like nothing's wrong, especially with the space-time continuum. Oh yeah, just enjoy yourself. Austin and Austin past stand next to each other. Austin past, what the fuck, baby?
I choose love, baby.
Dr. Evil looks at them both. What the hell?
Wait a tick. Who are you?
I'm you 10 minutes from now.
Damn it. You are handsome.
The Austins chuckle with how sexy they are. Felicity looks ahead and is just as confused as Dr. Evil.
I was just thinking the same.
Both Austins laugh.
We are sexy.
We are sexy bitches, yeah.
All right, this is goddamn ridiculous. Kill them both!
Evil stormtroopers miss again. Austin Past kills 4, and our Austin reenacts shooting the henchman. Our Austin reminds Dr. Evil about the laser.
Oh, thank you. Fire the laser!
Austin and Austin Past.
Listen, Past Austin, can you save the world while I go get the girl?
Sure, Austin, from 10 minutes from now.
Austin runs towards Felicity, and Austin Past runs toward Frau.
Laser set to full vitality.
Crack! Austin punches the glass. Meanwhile, by Frau is Austin Past.
Jill, kick.
Bam! Kicked in the face again. Frau falls over the controls, forcing the laser to turn left, and once again miss the Earth entirely. This time is different. Austin holds Felicity and gets her out of the evil man's trap.
Come on, are you all right? Yeah, come on. You all right? You okay?
Felicity nods while trying to control her cough. Austin is about to kiss her, but
So, what's the policy on Menage a Trois?
the Austins laugh.
You are adorable.
Yes.
Dr. Evil stands up, mojo in hand.
Looking for this, Mr. Powers?
My mojo.
Dr. Evil pushes a button on his chair that reads self-destruct. The button turns bright red.
Self-destruct in 2 minutes and counting.
An analog clock shows the self-destruct clock at 2, 1:59, 1:58, slow motion. Dr. Evil throws the mojo into the air. The two Austins look at the flying mojo and run to it.
No.
The Austins are about to run into each other.
Watch out!
Austin 1 and Austin 2 attempt to catch it, but run into each other. They miss the mojo, and it shatters. Our Austin lands on the ground next to the broken mojo. Dr. Evil is at the top of the stairs.
See you in hell, Powers!
Dr. Evil makes a run for it. Austin doesn't notice. He's looking at the broken mojo.
No.
Hey, Austin, from 10 minutes from now. This place is gonna blow. Let's go.
Austin Past runs to the time machine and goes spinning into it. The destination year reads 1999. Meanwhile, the self-destruction clock reads 30 seconds.
Self-destruct 30 seconds and counting. 29.
Austin tries to drink the mojo from the ground, but it is hit by small pieces of falling glass.
No.
Felicity grabs Austin and puts him to his feet.
Let's go.
My mojo.
We have to go. We have to go now.
My mojo. I'm useless without it.
You don't need it. You've had it all along.
What do you mean?
You defeated Dr. Evil, you saved the world, and believe me, you're gonna get the girl.
Well,
They smile at each other. Boom! The lair shakes as the self-destruct sequence gets closer to 0.
all right then, maybe later. Yeah, come on.
15 seconds. Austin and Felicity run to the time machine.
I'll set the controls to 1967.
Felicity, why don't you come with me to 1999?
Why, I don't know. The 60s were so groovy. I mean, I want to see what happens in the 70s and the 80s.
The 70s and 80s. You're not missing anything. I looked into it. There's a gas shortage and a flock of seagulls, and that's about it.
3, 2.
Let's go!
Austin and Felicity jump into the time machine and they spin inward. Destination 1999. 1, 0. Exterior moon base continuous. As the moon base explodes, Dr. Evil's long rocket ship flies into space. Cut 2. Exterior Austin's London pad day. Austin's Jaguar is parked in front of the Carnaby Arms building in 1999. Interior Austin's pad continuous. Felicity and Austin stand together.
I love you, Austin Powers.
And I love you, Felicity Shagwell.
Wherever we go.
There we are.
They kiss. Finally. Knock, knock.
Special delivery!
Bam! Fat Bastard breaks through the double doors with his body. Felicity and Austin stop kissing and back up. He wears a UPS uniform, but it reads FBD. He carries a brown box.
A surprise, surprise!
Fat Bastard pulls out a Rick Grimes revolver out of the box. Felicity and Austin put their hands up.
Do you fancy another go? Because once you've had fat, you'll never go back.
Shut your mouth, you bastard! Who is that?
Yeah, that's very good.
Before you kill us, let me ask you one question. Are you happy?
Stupid ass question is that? I'm rich and I'm dead sexy.
Fat Bastard licks his right hand and rubs his nipple. Seriously.
Yeah.
Even squeezes his nipple. What the fuck?
You didn't answer my question. Are you happy?
Of course I'm not happy. Look at me, I'm a big fat slob. I've got bigger titties than you do. I haven't seen my willy in 2 years, which is long enough to declare it legally dead. Stop eating. Because I'm unhappy.
Fat Bastard starts tearing up while Austin and Felicity watch the poor guy open his heart out to them.
I'm unhappy because I eat. It's a vicious cycle. Now, if you'll excuse me, there's someone I need to get in touch with and forgive. Myself!
Fat Bastard closes his eyes. After a few seconds, he passes gas. Moment ruined.
Oh, God.
Sorry. I farted.
Ah.
It's a long road ahead. Ah, hold my kid, and I'm gonna kill you anyway.
Fat Bastard aims this giant gun at Austin.
Judo chop.
Felicity karate chops the gun out of his hand and then kicks him right in the balls.
Yeah.
Oh, right in the mommy daddy button.
That's for calling me crap, you fatty.
Ah.
Fat Bastard falls forward. When he hits the ground, it causes an earthquake in the pad. Crash! Vases fall and break. A shelf full of coffee mugs falls, and the mugs break. Austin and Felicity look at the fallen bastard.
Listen, baby. I don't care if he is a fat bastard. You don't give a man a shot in the pills. It's just not cricket.
Felicity turns to Austin and holds his hand.
Do you think I'll be happy here in the 90s?
Well, I know the 90s might sound boring, but as far as I'm concerned, I've got the best part of the 60s with me. You.
Wait a minute.
Felicity steps toward the wall that has a black button. Above the button is a sign that reads, Don't touch this button.
Where are you going?
They both laugh as Felicity pushes the button. Summer Samba starts playing. Bright, colorful lights turn on. Austin immediately starts dancing. All of the doors open and colorfully dressed people start dancing to the music as they enter the room. A few guests near the hole in the door Fat Bastard left. It's like all of the people from the 60s party came to this party. Balloons rise to the ceiling as a neon international man of mystery symbol hanging from the ceiling. Felicity and Austin dance. As we move to the next scene, we see the two lovebirds kiss. Exterior space. Meanwhile, back in 1969, Mini-Me is flipping through space like a certain scene in Gravity when Sandra Bullock dealt with a similar situation. How is Mini-Me still alive? No, forget it. Though sound vibrations can't travel through air. Oh well. The infamous rocket returns. The top of the evil rocket opens and Mini-Me flies in. The rocket flies forward. Interior radar room continuous. Still 1969, Basil stands behind the radar operator.
Did we get Dr. Evil? No, sir. He got away with that rocket that looks like a huge...
Penis.
Interior classroom continuous. A teacher is teaching her class everything about the appendage.
Male reproductive organ, also known as the tallywhacker, schlong, or...
Wiener?
Exterior park continuous. A dad is a hot dog on a steel fork asking his kids.
Any of you kids want another wiener?
A kid sees Dr. Evil's rocket and points.
Dad, what's that?
I don't know, son, but it's got great big...
Nuts!
Exterior sports game continuous. A man is selling hot nuts and yelling to the crowd if they want any.
Hot salty nuts! Who wants some?
He and another woman see the rocket. His nuts drop.
Almighty.
Oh, that looks just like my husband's.
One-eyed monster!
Exterior one-eyed monster show continuous. Not the type of show you think. A carny wants to show a group of people a guy with one eye.
Step right up and see the one-eyed monster!
Out of the curtain, a man who looks remarkably like Jeff Garlin has the Leela eye from Futurama.
Ah!
He sees the other one-eyed monster in the sky.
Hey, what's that? It looks like a big...
Woody?
Exterior outdoor event continuous. A group of people are sitting at tables enjoying food while a fan approaches the table with a small booklet. At this table is legendary actor Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson? Can I have your autograph?
Sure, no problem.
He takes the booklet and signs it. He looks up and sees the other Woody.
Oh my lord, look at that thing.
The fan looks up too.
It's so big.
I've seen bigger. That's just...
Just a little prick!
Interior Dr. Evil's rocket continuous. Mini-Me is bent over and Dr. Evil holds a syringe in his hand.
It's a flu shot.
He gives Mini-Me the shot.
Oh. You've been in the coldness of space. I don't want you to get sick. It's one thing to attack me. It's quite another to attack my Mini-Me.
Dr. Evil gives Mini-Me a lollipop and turns to the audience.
Doom. I'm gonna get you, Austin Powers. I'm gonna get you.
The end. Almost. Interior Jerry Springer show, day. Jerry Springer is back, and he's not done with the Evil Father's Day segment.
Thank you. Welcome back. Today we're doing a follow-up to a segment we did several months ago on fathers who are trying to take over the world.
Boo!
Let's begin with Scott Evil.
Scott is sitting on a chair on stage. The audience applauses. How could you not for Seth Green?
So, what's going on with your dad?
Well, my dad tried to take over the world with a giant laser on the moon.
Oh.
I know.
Well, Scott, we have a surprise for you.
What, my dad?
No, it's not your father. It's your mother. Come on out.
Confused, Scott turns. Frau walks on stage. Dun dun dun.
Mom.
Mom.
Scott stands up and faces his mother.
Mom?
Scott, you are my love child with Dr. Evil.
I thought I was a test tube baby.
Lies. Oh, lies!
Jerry
Ah!
Springer and the audience all react terrified.
I love you, Mom.
Aww.
I love you too, son.
Scott and Frau hug. The audience applauds. The show cuts off to a close-up of Jerry.
Thank you. You know, what have we learned here today? Perhaps it's that no one can take your mojo. You can look around all you want, but what you're really trying to find is on the inside. Take care of yourself and each other.
The end. Oh, wait, not yet. One more post-credit scene. Interior Austin's pad hallway day. 1 month after that 60s party in Fat Bastard, Austin approaches his flat door with flowers and a box of chocolates. Austin can hear Felicity's orgasms through the door. Uh-oh.
Felicity?
Austin opens the door.
Oh
Interior
no,
Austin's
my
pad
bad.
continuous. Austin can see Felicity in bed with someone else, but can't tell who it is.
Felicity?
Felicity sits up.
Austin?
How could you?
I thought that.
The other man sits up and it's,
Past Austin?
yes, it is the Austin Powers variant.
Technically, it's not cheating, baby.
Oh, well, Felicity, I can't blame you.
Austin steps up to his bed and sits on it.
The man is handsome, baby.
But just plain handsome, man.
Am I wrong? But this makes me horny, baby. Very randy. Well, one thing's for sure. I've got my mojo back.
Oh, yeah.
Austin Past looks under the covers.
It's definitely back. Hello, are you awake there?
The spuds are boiling.
Yeah.
Austin turns to Felicity, who appears very turned on by what's happening.
Come on, darling. Let's hop on the good foot and do the bad thing.
Paging Dr. Freud.
Fade to black. The end. For real this time. Wait, one more. Exterior English countryside day. Back to the broken up guardrail in the London telephone booth.
Hello up there. Is the movie over? I'm still down here, and I'm still in quite a lot of pain. Maybe someone in the lobby could call an ambulance. Oh, the pain is really quite severe. I fashioned a makeshift splint. Here goes nothing.
Snap. Bones crack.
Ah!
Thud. Okay, now it's over.
Thank you so much for watching this absolute masterpiece. Everyone killed it tonight, and good night. Good night, you freaking awesome people.